Hello and welcome to the start of the 2025 Eastlake High School football season. David Oliphant here, joined with Jeremy Budish. The two of us will be in the booth all season for the YouTube broadcast, and we're here with Coach Greg Hurd, the first-year coach for the Eastlake Wolves. Coach Hurd's been generous to give us some time to just get to know him a little bit more and hear about his take on the season. So, Coach Hurd, thanks for joining us here tonight. It's
Yes,
awesome.
absolutely. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, we just kind of got some questions to get to know you and hear a little bit more about the season. So, if it's all right, we'll just start. And first question, can you share with us a little bit about your coaching journey and kind of what led you to Eastlake High School?
Yeah, absolutely. Getting into coaching back in 2015 was my first year coaching. Loved it. I knew after being a player that I wanted to be a coach, and I spent some time at a couple different places. I was at North Thurston as a receiver coach, helped with special teams there. I was at Wilson High in Tacoma, did quarterback special teams there. Then I spent 2 years at my alma mater as the receiver coach and the offensive coordinator there. And then in the spring of 2020, right smack dab in the middle of COVID, I took a little leap of faith and became a head coach at Auburn Riverside. And I feel like the staff and I did some really, really good things there. And obviously, just being in the coaching world, there's programs that you hear about, there's programs you see. And we were actually slated to play Eastlake in the 2021 season, and we got COVID and had to shut down that week. But just one of those programs that I thought was a top-notch program. And when the position was posted in January, I knew I had to take a crack at it. And here we are, from March, 6 months later, and I'm more than happy to be here, and I'm excited to get this thing rolling now and doing it for real.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I remember that 21 game where we didn't get to play you. That was a sad because you're missing out on some playing time for the guys, and it was definitely a weird time. Well, you've been with the guys for really since you got on board here this spring. And as you get to know them and as part of your coaching philosophy, what core values or principles do you emphasize most in your coaching philosophy?
Yeah, talk to the players a lot of times about the things they can control. Number one is their attitude that they bring in there every day, coming with a positive one-on-one that's ready to work and one that's going to treat the people in the space that we're in with a lot of respect. And then the next one's effort too. Like those two things that I harp on so much because they require zero talent at all. You could be a very new to football athlete and someone who maybe is not the biggest, fastest, strongest, and you can excel in both of those areas. And I think when you excel in both those areas, you find a role for yourself on the team. It may not be necessarily a starting role, star player, but you can find yourself on a special teams role, on scout team role. So effort, respect, and attitude are the two things that we preach a lot. And then just having that physical and that mental toughness to get through the course of a football season, right? Like I think that week one's probably usually the only week that you're healthy and your body feels great for football season. The rest of the weeks you're banged up, your body's sore, and then the mental toughness to push through adversity in games. And I always tell kids that it's not if adversity is going to happen, it's when. And then having the mental toughness to realize I've done things harder than this before, and this is just another bump along the way. We're going to push through this, and we're going to make this thing happen too. So effort, attitude, and toughness are really big for a football program, any football program, I think.
That's great. And we didn't mention that both of us have senior boys that are playing for you, and I think we see that coming home, so that's awesome. All right, let's transition a little bit. Let's talk about our opponent here, playing in Southern California, Laguna Hills High School against Williams Field from Arizona. What's been your focus here in the last couple weeks to prepare the team for the opener against Williams Field?
Yeah, they're a good ball club. They absolutely are. But I know we're a good ball club too. And I think that anytime you walk into a game, as much as you want to prepare for what another team's going to do, you got to prepare to be the best version of yourself, right? Like as much as we got to go out there and stop them, they got to stop us. As much as we have to go out there and score points on them, they got to score points on us too. So making sure that we're feeling really confident in our schemes, our X's and O's and what we do, and then just putting our kids in positions to play fast and play fearless, right? Like the last thing we want those guys doing out there is doing a lot of thinking and playing slow. Like let's put in a game plan that we feel can be successful for them, and then just let it rip so those guys are flying around on Saturday and making plays.
No, that's great. And we'll get down into the strategy, but they do have some big dudes up on the line for sure. When you look at
Yeah,
their roster.
they got two good backs, and they're big and they're beefy up front, and they've been a good team in Arizona. They play some tough games. Like, so they're used to playing in bloodbaths. I mean, they played some of the premier teams that are in Arizona. I mean, last year they played Brophy Prep, who Donovan McNabb's son plays for them. Larry Fitzgerald's son plays for them. There's a couple like NFL guys whose sons play for them who are all Division I guys, so they're used to tough competition. So they're not going to shy away from any sort of competition. But it's good for us. I'm excited for it, and I'm looking forward to it, to see how our kids respond to it, and to go out there and throw that first punch, or be the one to throw the second punch and keep swinging. So it should be a good night.
Right. Yeah. So getting it, back to preparedness, how do you describe the identity of this year's team, and what should fans expect on the field? And I guess I would, maybe, like Dave said, both of us have senior sons. Both of us have seen our senior sons, with 4 coaches over their 4 years. So we know they're resilient. They bounce back, and what we're hearing coming home is really good. But, from your aspect, what do you see?
Yeah. I would say I saw the first glimpse of the identity at camp. We were scrimmaging Tacoma, and there was a play that happened, and a couple of our guys didn't like the way the play happened, and some attitude came out, right? That super, uber competitiveness, and that's what I think where our identity lies right now. I think playing physical defense and hitting guys, right, and forcing, stopping the run, and forcing teams to throw the ball, and forcing teams to dink and dunk down the field and not getting beat over the top. And then offensively, we've got weapons, and getting the ball to our weapons. Obviously, you got Miles returning in the backfield. You got Colby, who's coming back, and we've got some kind of unsung heroes at receivers who have made plays for us all spring, who many teams don't know about yet, but they will know about as we get into this season. So defensively, our philosophy is stop the run, pressure the quarterback, and don't get beat deep. If you're going to throw the ball on us, it's going to be on the hard deck, that 12 to 15-yard range. And then offensively, I always talk to us about players over plays, and then formations to get us in advantageous situations. So we're gonna go out there and play our best to that philosophy, and then play with high effort and a good attitude, and hopefully we get some good things to happen. But I think that the offense is coming together, the defense is coming together, and things are starting to click. I called a play wrong today at walkthrough, and both Miles and Ryder corrected me on it. So we're getting to that point now where they know what I'm going to call, and if I make that mistake, they can change it for me too. So it feels really good being that far along now, where kids coach didn't mean that, he meant this, and making those corrections for us. So they're starting to own the offense and defense too.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. You've already touched on it, but kind of talking about some of the players on the team. There's some returners, some all-conference guys. You mentioned quarterback Ryder Barry Smith coming back, and as you mentioned, the receiving core. There were 6 seniors that graduated out last year. A lot of new folks, but I think where there's also some new folks we're not familiar with is the offense and defensive line, and other places in the defensive backfield. So maybe just share with us some players to watch that maybe not everyone knows about.
Yeah. Obviously we know of the Miles and the Colby and all that, and the Ryder. And I think up front on the offensive line, I think Finn Waldron's going to be one of the best two-way line players in the Kinko Conference. I mean, he is as sturdy as can be, and one of those kids that you kind of don't end up coaching him a lot because he's just doing his job every play. He's been good for us. Henry's come along. I know he was a starter on the offensive line last year. He'll play a little D-line for us too. Big 2 weeks in camp from Mason Flynn on the offensive line. He's made tremendous strides for us. And then you look over at the defensive line, and Wilson Fang had a good spring for us. High energy guy, plays with a heck of a motor. I thought he had probably the best day at PLU when we didn't have our best day collectively as a team. He played with high motor and showed a lot of good things. And that defensive end, we got a plethora of guys that have been making plays for us. James Orts playing defensive end for us from the linebacker kind of corner spot he played last year. Ryder Paterno's shown some promise there as well. And then I think that our linebacker core is probably our deepest core to where we look at, and we have so many guys there. How do we get them on the field? Obviously, we know about Colby, but we've got, in addition to him, we've got Caden Eaton playing linebacker. He's been great for us. We got Nolan Budish. He's been great for us. Jackson Wheeler has really come along as a junior, and been making a ton of plays for us and knows the defense inside and out. And we missed Jack Steiner a lot in the spring because he was at lacrosse, and he comes back and he's making the plays. And Finn Hanna, like we've got a depth of guys that are playing there. And then on the back end, we got a number of guys too that can play and make some plays for us too. We got Landon Johnson, who's came out and is playing football for, I think, the first time in high school. He's going to be a heck of a player for us out there. Barrett Bratland playing our wolf position, our strong safety position. Jacob Kim playing both offense and defensive receiver. Chase Hanska playing receiver for us. We've got a lot of guys. I think that the receiver position, again, we've got about 6 guys that are going to play snaps for us at receiver and at DB, and are going to make plays for us, right? I think that having the depth that we have is going to be the best thing to where we're not going to have to run guys on the ground. We're going to have guys who are going to play a ton of snaps for us. And like I got guys right now at receiver rotating every 2 plays, and there's no drop off from those guys. And that's what you want. We want to be as fresh and as sharp as we can be, when you get into that postseason time and not feeling like you've been running the wheels off of guys all season. So a lot of players. I think we're going to play a lot of players this year, and I'm excited about it.
That's super exciting. Listening to you talk about those guys as somebody, as that coached both of the juniors and seniors at the JV level. It's super exciting to see the growth that's coming out of that squad and what they're developing into as varsity players. So that's awesome.
Yeah. And they're old. They're old as when you look at age wise, and a lot of them are young for varsity experience. But they're fired up about it. And like I said, they did a great job for us with effort at POU. We were so behind the curve of just being a week and a half, 2 weeks in. But at camp, I feel like we really hit a stride of figuring out who the heck we were. Leaders emerged, guys making plays. Every single scrimmage, it seemed like there was a different guy that was popping off of the film and making plays for us. So now we're going to do it for real, right? And now we're going to see the guys that make those plays on Friday nights. And, I'm hoping we're giving out a ton of helmet stickers on Mondays because everyone's doing their part and helping us go find some victories this fall.
That's great. I guess jumping into the game a little bit without giving too much away, what kind of challenges do you see Williamsfield presenting, and what are you doing to prepare to face them? I mean, they're a big squad. Like you said, they look like they're pretty gritty when you just look at them by the numbers. They got a ton of returning starters. And looks like they're a fairly well-coached team.
Yeah, they're a well-coached team for sure. I believe Coach Campbell over there has been there for a minute too, so he's got that thing intact. First thing that jumps off the radar is they're big up front. I mean, they are big. They got 3 guys going to play Division I ball up front. Like I think one's 6'5", 315, another one's 6'4", 285, and like a 6'7", 285. So a lot of size up there. Then they got 2 running backs that can go. One's kind of that power back who's going to run through, and the other guy's lightning in a bottle. And I think that's where the strength of their team is offensively running the ball. Obviously defensively, they're sound. They do well. They can beat you in the pass too. Their quarterback is new this year. He played a little bit last year as a sophomore and made some plays, but he played well week 1. So again, I always look at, we know what teams are going to do. Like teams have habits, right? But our job is to prepare our kids to play their absolute best ball and go out there and execute our game plan, and our kids know, like they know that these guys are big up front. They know it's going to be a physical game. They know they're going to run the ball, and they're prepared for it. We prepared for it all week. We had probably more offensive run periods than we had all spring or all summer just to get ready for this and to prepare their bodies for it. And they've seen, every play multiple times from different formations. But I think the keys for us is we gotta win the line of scrimmage, both offensively and defensively. I think if we can win there, I think that we get some advantages with some things. And then obviously limit big plays. When you force a team to go on, 9 to 12 to 14 play drives, it's hard to sustain when you don't have a drop ball or a false start or some sort of mishap along the way. So I think for them is stopping the run and eliminating big plays from them. Yeah, and then offensively for us, it's, getting the run going and creating big plays. So just kind of the opposite and the inverse of that.
That's exciting. We can't wait to watch it on Saturday. Kind of transition a little bit, Coach. A little bit different philosophy this year than last year. You've traveled a few sophomores with you, which is exciting for them to be part of the team. Last year, I don't think we had any sophomores that suited up really. And there were so many seniors at some of the key position. A lot of the juniors last year, now seniors, don't have, as you mentioned, a lot of varsity experience. already seen a difference from last year, but what's your strategy to, you know, develop the younger and the newer players, but still maintaining a competitive edge with the team?
Yeah, I think it all starts with practice. You got to have competitive practices, and like one of the big things that we've done now is like especially with our receivers and DBs, like we have one-on-one periods, right? Where we let those guys get after it and they start talking a little trash and it gets chippy, but guys didn't want to take reps against other guys. And I think that when you practice and you can simulate a game in practice, it's the best thing for kids. And we do the same in our team periods. You got to bring your hard hat every day, right? And I think that with the well balance we have on our team and being able to swap kids in and out, it creates a very level playing environment and practice, and the reality is you could be going against your backup, from receiver to DB or O line to D line, and whoever gets the best day out of the other person might start creeping up that depth chart more, So I think that competitive spirit, the kids have adapted well to it. They're always coming and asking what things they can do better. I challenge our receivers and quarterbacks to stay in after every single day and throwing extra routes because they didn't get that work last year, right? They just, some of those guys were backups. They didn't get those reps. And then the biggest thing they need is reps. So like my hope is that all the extra reps and the competitiveness that we've preached at practice will pay off for us. And our kids will be ready for it. They're fired up. We've been hitting each other for a long time now since June, and they're ready to get out there and play someone else for real. So
Yeah. No, and I think, I mean, your comment about their competitive nature, right? I mean, maybe you don't have all of the D1 football commits, but you have a lot of lacrosse and baseball guys that are just as competitive that, I mean, they show up every day knowing that they want to go win the football game. So,
yeah. Yeah, and I told our guys that too. I asked them in the meeting, like, hey, Miles, hey, Estes, hey, Nolan, hey, it's hard to win a state championship, isn't it? Right? Any sport, right? Like you had to go through the playoffs. You had a gauntlet to get through. You had to play Mount Si in the playoffs. Same with the baseball kids. Baseball kids, they went through a treacherous Kinko, then the Kinko, then they didn't win the league, right? And then you get to the state championship and that tough game. So it's like we've got a lot of guys who have played a lot of meaningful and high competitive situations, and all that translates into other sports. And that's why I love multi-sport athletes because they bring different dimensions of other things that aren't necessarily present in your sport. So, yeah, we're fired up. We're ready to go.
great. Transition a little bit. What are you doing both on and off the field to build that strong team culture?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is the off season. Guys spending time together in the off season is the biggest thing. I know a lot of them spend time together. A lot of the kids went camping and stuff together this summer. And the biggest thing we had to get to was work. And I think the more time these guys spend together, the better. We do some activities at practice. We do some rock paper scissors stuff. We spend time in our meetings talking about things. I usually have like a little message I read to the boys every day, and I talk about my best playing experiences, right? And the best teams that I was on, and the best teams that I were on were not necessarily the most talented teams, right? But the team that enjoyed each other the most. I will tell you here, like we got to our practice field today and we were eating lunch there, and the kids started playing some bottle flip game. And I'm looking over like, this game's pretty dumb. And then 5 minutes later, I'm playing in it, and there's like 10 of us playing, and all the kids are around, and everyone's yelling and hollering. So I think they really enjoy being around each other. And the one thing that I enjoy most about this team, and I think that there's no egos and there's no clickiness. There's no like these guys don't hang out with these guys. Everyone's all inclusiveness. I mean, like you got random people jumping in the game and being a part of it. And I think that's the testament just people's parents and the community, right? We haven't been here long enough to take credit for that, and I won't. But I think that we walked into a really good scenario of just having really good kids who want to accomplish goals together. And our hope is to build on that as best as we can, and then invite more people in to be a part of it.
Great.
That's awesome. That gets me excited. Well, kind of along the same lines, a little shout out to the Eastlake super fans. Last Friday night, we had Friday Night Lights. We hope many of you are watching here for the first game of the year. Coach, you had your first week in the school with students, although you flew today, so you only got a couple of days. But
Yeah.
What do you see that the Eastlake community and the student body, what does it play into what happens this season?
I think that the thing that I've seen just so far with dating back to spring, and I went to a unified game, I went to a couple of lacrosse games, went to a couple of baseball games, and And the thing I think I've seen the most is that wolves support wolves, right? And it doesn't matter what area or what focus it is, but like Eastlake shows up for Eastlake, right? And that is goes both ways, right? The fans show up for you, and as a player, you got to show up for the fans and give them a show too. But I mean, for us to have a JV and C scrimmage, right, and us just warming up and having that many people there to support you, right? Like you got to be fired up to play for a team in a community that has that type of rally behind them, and it just makes those game days that much more enjoyable. Like game days are special at that field because of the people, one, that helped put those game day environments together, all the WFA board that was there all week and hanging lights and painting. And
Right.
I saw Painter and Ort and the scissor lift wiping down the uprights because they were dirty from the off season. So just all the work that everyone pours into the experience that we get to create for our team here is just like we got to show up for them, and they show up for us. We got to show up for them. That's that family motto, and that's been the most enjoyable part. I know that like everyone kept asking me if I was excited for week 1, and don't get me wrong, I am. But week 2, I'm excited for to be on our home turf and playing in front of all of our fans on our field, and really get that thing rocking up there on the plateau.
So what's the over and under on somebody stealing the ice cream truck this year?
Depends on if it's loaded or not with ice cream, right?
If you want to know what that's about, show up for week 2. You'll see the ice cream truck. You might even see Darren Painter floating around in it. So, okay, looking ahead, goals for the season, both, obviously wins and losses mean something, right? Gets you to that postseason, but also as a first year coach, overall program development.
Yeah. Yeah. When I look at goals, our goal is to get a little bit better each week. Right. Play better football tomorrow than we did today, and the day after that than we did the day before. So that's always our goal. And I talk to the guys about goals. Like rivalry games are important, right? Everyone knows what our rivalry game is, and that game means a lot to us. And when I was back at Auburn, like our motto was win the city, and it's the same here. Like, let's win the city, right? The school up the hill, we're gonna go play mid-season. Our goal is to take care of business in that game. And then one of the other goals I've always set for my teams is having that week 10 game means something. So you don't get a scheduled week 10 game. That week 10 game is formulated based on how your season ends. And you either have a kumbaya week 10 game, or whether you win or lose, you go home, or you got something you're really playing for, right? You're playing to stay alive. So like our goal is always to be in a situation where our week 10 game is an opportunity to play week 11. So that's one of the goals that we have. And that happens by taking care of business during the season, week in and week out. And, the better you play those weeks, the better that week 10 situation is.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess follow on to that, we're playing Williams Field Saturday night, first game of the season. What's your prediction?
Tell you what, man, I like it. I like the film. I like our guys. I like our game plan. I told the kids on, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, I like us 35-14, 35-21. I think there's some things that we give up, right? Obviously, they're going to make plays. They're going to make some things happen, but we're going to make a lot of things happen too. And I'm confident in our guys. I'm confident in their ability to execute the game plan. And now we just got to go let it rip, and hopefully we get those pregame jitters out in pregame when we come out, and swing first. And I always talk to guys about having a superb confidence when you play football. And I talked to them about boxers, right? And like when Floyd Mayweather, Conor McGregor gets in the ring, there's no thought in their head of ever getting knocked out, right? Because you get in there with that thought and you're already losing, right? You have to get in there like, I'm the baddest dude on this field right now, and I feel sorry for the person across from me because he's got to deal with me the entire game. So getting our guys to the point where they're super confident come pregame and kickoff, and then we just let it rip on Friday and let the chips fall how they may.
That's awesome. Well, we're super excited for the season. Super excited to be able to spend some time with you here tonight, kind of giving us your insights, and definitely appreciate it. So, I don't know, Dave, anything else from you?
No, thank you so much, Coach Hurt. It's been great to get to know you more and to share you with the community. And I think that people are hungry to engage Eastlake football at a deeper level. So this is exactly what the people want, and we'll do some more things like this in future weeks.
Yeah, I'm excited for it, and thank you guys for making this opportunity, and obviously being the voice of the Wolves this fall. And we're excited.
All right, David Oliphant and Jeremy Budish here live from sunny Southern California, Orange County. We are at San Juan Hills High School. The temperature just dropped below 80 degrees. My phone says it feels like 82.
I would agree.
A light breeze. The game is kicking off here at 5 p.m. Pacific time. The sun will set at 7, so we're going to be playing in the heat and then under Saturday Night Lights tonight, Jeremy.
So it looks like Henry, Finn, Jacob, and Miles are our captains tonight.
All seniors for the Eastlake Wolves. Captains for the Williams Field Blackhawks from the greater Phoenix area. Let's see, we've got number 12, I believe is their quarterback.
Caden Schooley.
Caden Schooley.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Caden Schooley.
52, which is their left tackle, Colin Campbell. Big kid, 6'7", 280. You could see him right at the middle of the field there. 75, I believe is a defensive lineman.
I don't have a 75 on their roster.
We don't have a 75?
Nope.
And then a number 10, Elijah Sanchez.
I didn't have him on the last week's stat sheet, so.
We did our best job scouting Williams Field for their starting lineup. You can see their sidelines got a lot of players suited up tonight. They drove the bus. We saw on Instagram the last couple days. Eastlake flew down here from SeaTac in the Seattle area on Thursday, practiced Thursday and Friday, and here we are for the first game of the season for the Eastlake Wolves. This is the second game of the season for the Williams Field Blackhawks, and we are playing at a neutral field. We'll meet with the Wolves Football Association president, Jim Ort, at halftime. He'll tell you how we got here, but this is super exciting for this group of seniors and the entire varsity team together.
First game for new head coach for the Wolves, Greg Hurd. So we just saw an interview with Coach Hurd. Super excited to be the new head coach for the Wolves this year, and we're going to see what they have to offer.
So Eastlake will kick off.
Looks like we got Ben Byman getting ready to kick the ball.
Jeremy, you and I both have sons on the team. I see my own Estes Oliphant on the far side, number 2. I'm looking for Nolan. May not be on kickoff team.
Nolan might be the backup kicker, so I don't know that he's on the squad.
On the near side, 33, I believe that's Caden Eaton. Is that Caden Eaton? 33, Caden Eaton. 32, Rory Johnson. 15 is Chase Hanska. 4 is Jack Steiner. And 17, Gideon Birchfield. On the far side, 22, Landon Johnson's 23. 22, Mason. Finn Hanna, sorry. Can't see the second, third jersey numbers. We'll catch up with 27, Barrett Bratlin, I believe. 7 is Ethan Rogers. And we already mentioned Estes Oliphant, number 2 on the far side.
Kicking from the center of the field.
Eastlake in the white, Williams Field in the left.
They're going to receive it at about the 7-yard line.
Cuts up.
And looks like
pile
23, 24-yard line, Dave.
Well, it's good to get the nerves out that first play of the game. Good to see some underclassmen in the game. We don't have a bunch of starters on the field, and the Eastlake defense takes the field for the first time. We don't have an exact list of all the starters, so bear with us as we work through this. It looks like 64 at nose. That is
Finn Waldron at nose.
Finn Waldron.
And they have 57 somewhere in there,
Jack Devine, yep. 11 is James Ort the third, and 18 on the near side is Ryder Paterno, I believe. Some shifts in the middle. Williams Field comes out with double twins on both sides, motion to the near side. There's a flag on the play. I believe it's going to be false start on Williams Field, and that will move them back 5 yards. It'll be first down and 15. Ball was spotted on the 23. So that'll take Williams Field inside the 20. In the Eastlake linebacker core here starting tonight, number 8, Nolan Budish. Jeremy, your son right there in the middle at middle linebacker. 28 is Jackson Wheeler. on the near side. And wait a minute. Looks like the call, Eastlake must have moved. Call is reversed. Jack Steiner, number 4, outside linebacker on the other side. Got 22 Finn Hanna on this side. Again, Williams Field motions to the bottom, trips, quick curl route, completed, brought down at the 39-yard line. Looks like the first Eastlake Wolf there was number 28, Jackson Wheeler, with his first varsity tackle, if that was him. Jackson, a junior, standout player through youth football and JV, and he got a start tonight and gets his first tackle. Williams Field has a first down at the 39 in the pistol with split backs, wing back and split end on this side, split end on the top. Ball's on the right hash. Looks like a read option to the middle and hard run for about a 5-yard gain. That was number 11 for Williams Field, I believe.
Yeah, number 11 for Williams Field is a Joshua Campbell, and let's see if I have any stats on.
I got to be honest. No, that was number 4.
Number 4 would be Nolan Tyler.
Nolan Tyler. Nolan Tyler's out at receiver on the far side. It's really hard to see their numbers. They have dark gray jerseys with black numbers. The sideline in front of us we can see, but on the field it's a little bit tough. Eastlake in a 4-man front. Run to the outside. First man there, it looked to be 22, Finn Hanna, and then a pack of Wolves. But Williams Field will move the chains again for another first down inside Eastlake territory. Just kicked off here at 5 p.m. Pacific. Beautiful, beautiful day here in Southern California.
It's been sunny all day. It's warm.
If you read the news about smoke, there's no smoke here. The air is crystal clear. That's a different part of California. Okay, Williams Field comes out with wingback and twins on the near side, single receiver on the top in the pistol. Looking to pass, drops back, has time, rolls to the right, throws just over the head of Nolan Budish, and number 3, John Booker, goes out of bounds for a big game. I'm surprised he went out of bounds. It looked like he might have had more yards, but
I think his momentum might have carried him out of bounds.
Momentum took him out. Nolan Budish jumped to get a paw on the ball. It's just over his hands, and Williams Field with another first down on the 36-yard line, marching into Eastlake territory.
Another run.
Nearly had him in the backfield. There's going to be a flag. James Ort had him, and then finally brought down by number 3, Jacob Kim, one of the captains, starting at corner, right corner specifically. We didn't talk about Landon Johnson, number 23, started at corner down here on the left on the near side. Landon, his first year of high school football. He's a standout Division I lacrosse player, and it is holding. That will, I believe, be a 10-yard penalty from the 36, so that'll bring up second and long for Williams Field. It'll go to the 46, so it's going to be 1st and 20 for the Blackhawks. Possibly flipping corners. Jacob Kim now on the near side, number 3. Barrett Bratlin, 27, back deep at free safety. Out here in the flats, number 4, Jack Steiner on defense. Yes, we are talking about Eastlake predominantly here, because we are Eastlake broadcast, and we're just figuring out who's on the field today.
Past the flats.
Budish had him, and help came. Number 4, Jack Steiner with the tackle. Not much on the play. A gain of about a yard, and that'll bring up second down and 19 for Williams Field, who's in black.
Decent first contact by Budish, slowed him down a little bit and let the rest of the team come in and do their thing.
We haven't talked about the offense tonight, but there's a few guys on the field right now that are going to be playing offense. Nolan is one of them, so he's getting a lot of activity early here. He is going to sleep good tonight. Twins on the far side. 2 backs in the backfield, 1 at wing back, 2nd and 19. Quarterback, hard to tell if he's changing the play or just taking time. Eastlake run up the middle and hit by 22 Hannah, but it was first 28. Jackson Wheeler there again.
Jackson Wheeler is a hard-hitting junior. Had a great season last year on the JV squad. Super aggressive. So size-wise, Williams Field and Eastlake are almost identical attendance-wise. Williams Field plays in the 6A conference in Arizona. Eastlake is in the 4A conference in Washington. They match up size-wise, school by school, very evenly.
Trips on the top. Quarterback looking downfield. It's got a wide open crosser. Looked like holding. There is going to be a flag. Touchdown Williams Field, but I believe that's coming back. I saw some white jersey getting pulled just after the receiver caught the ball. It looked like one of the other receivers that was downfield grabbed one of the Eastlake secondary or linebackers' horse collar or jersey, but I believe that will be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. That should bring up 3rd and long. Couple subs here. Number 21, Mason King subs in at corner. Jacob Kim subs out. Jacob also playing both sides of the ball, be it receiver tonight. Another sub, looks like 76 comes in for Eastlake. That is Maxwell Call.
No, we have no 76 on our
roster. Sorry, 78.
78
Logan Karch. So just Finn Waldron heads out. It's 3rd and 14. Williams Field looks to pass here. Eastlake in a 2-deep safety look. Twins at the top, twins at the far side, at the near side. Looking downfield, throws it, and it is caught for a first down. Corner slipped. That was Landon Johnson over the top. Nice throw and a first down for Williams Field.
8 minutes left in the first quarter.
If you joined us late, we started out. Eastlake kicked off to Williams Field, returned it to the 25-yard line or so, and has gained a couple of first downs this first drive. We have yet to see the Eastlake offense. I did note, Jeremy, that Colby Johnson is not suited up tonight. He was scratched. He's on the sideline in his shorts.
Okay.
And so we do not have him at linebacker tonight.
Also missing Riley Hill tonight, and let's see, who's the other one that we had as a scratch? That would have been
Brady Painter.
Brady Painter's out, and there's one other. Evan Bettinger is also a scratch tonight.
All right, we're inside the red zone here for Williams Field. Coming out, they've been in pistol every play. Got a fullback in the backfield. Strong right formation. Twins to the near side. Handoff up the middle, bounces it outside. Evades the first Wolf, gets the first down, and is tackled at the 2-yard line. And that will be 1st and goal for Williams Field. Jeremy, there was a game before us, and we saw a lot of calf cramps late in the game. Fortunate for us, the sun will be going down here soon, but you could see the O-linemen even on Williams Field have got their hands on their hips. It is hot. I'd suspect it's approaching 100 degrees down on the turf.
And that last tackle was by 27, Barrett Bratland for the Wolves.
Barrett Bratland, another junior, getting his first varsity start. Williams Field in the same formation. Looks like a different personnel at that wing back. Snap, handoff up the middle. Hit hard, and he gets in the end zone. Touchdown, Williams Field. About a 74-yard drive, I believe, there. They overcame a huge holding penalty on 2nd and 19 at one point, and then 3rd and 14.
Guesses this is number 33, Brooks Rodenbaugh kicking. He did a lot of kicking for them last week.
He is the kicker. Oh, blocked! Blocked by Barrett Bratland.
Look at that.
You can't underestimate the value of special teams week one. It's one of those things that's hard to focus on, and that could be a valuable point later in the game. Sure. Congratulations,
very
Barrett.
Shifty, very quick young man, so fact that he snuck by is good for us.
Well, halfway through the first quarter, it's Williams Field 6, Eastlake 0. A lot going on today. Jeremy, I've got a younger son, Cameron Oliphant, playing quarterback for the Eastlake Youth Cubs right now. The game is live right now. I haven't checked my phone. I hope he's doing well. I'll check it here at a break.
With you here, who's calling the offense? Dave, is Cam calling his own plays today?
We've got a committee. Shout out to Martin Carlson there. All right, on the kickoff, back to return. It looks like 23, Landon Johnson. Number 15, Chase Hanchka, both seniors. 28, Jackson Wheeler, the up back. 35, Brady Vandermeed. And 26, Adam Barrick, the next fullbacks. And then 10 and 52,
Doshi is 10, and 52 is
Grant Duong. Then on the front row, I see 27, Bratlin again. Looks like we're going to call his name a lot tonight. Rory Johnson, 32. 17, Gideon Birchfield, and 2, Estes Oliphant in the front row.
Nice. And I would guess this is number 33, Brooks again. It looks like who's kicking the ball for...
They do kick it deep. Looks like Landon Johnson will field it. He is fast if he keeps his feet. He's got a lane up the middle. And Landon gets out to about the 33-yard line. And
First
Jeremy...
high school carry for Landon Johnson. Again, D1 lacrosse recruit, has not played football since middle school. Has not carried the ball, but he is shifty. If you've ever watched the Eastlake Wolves play lacrosse, he can put a move on for sure. So
he is. It's unfortunate he slipped there. It looked like he had a pretty good lane. If he would have caught that. In at the game for Eastlake is
Ryder Barry Smith at quarterback.
Coach calls a timeout. Looks like there was confusion of who was supposed to be in the huddle. Looks like there was some confusion with the receiving core. Eastlake does have 6 or 7 receivers that mix in, and we didn't have the right guys on the field, so Coach uses a timeout early. I don't think that's a timeout he wants to use, but the offense will come out ready here for the first play.
Don't take him home, Dave. So
you can't take him home. This is the time to do it. This is Eastlake's first game of the year, first offensive possession, first play of the year. We'll talk about the line here in just a moment. Ryder Barry Smith at quarterback, Miles Johnson in the backfield, 21 Mason King and Jacob Kim on the near side, Estes Oliphant number 2, and 15 Chase Hanchka in the slot. Jacob Kim goes in motion to the top, trips. Ryder throws on first down, just out of the reach of Mason
King,
and that'll bring up 2nd and 10. I like the call. Mason was open there.
Yeah.
Ryder just overthrew him. We'll talk about a lot of these players tonight, but the Eastlake offensive line is special. At center, I believe it's 77, Paxton Jacobson. At left tackle, near side, 64, Finn Waldron.
the 6'2", 255. He's third year on varsity.
Barry Smith on 2.
Looks like they got him.
And that'll be 5 free yards for the Eastlake Wolves. Will bring up 2nd and 5.
Also Jack Devine, who's a junior, playing his 2nd year of varsity ball.
And starting both ways. Jack also played some varsity ball last year.
Jack played every game last year on the varsity squad.
Henry Volpone at right guard. And then it looks like at right tackle, that's Mason Flynn, the senior. Eastlake comes out, trips at the top. Miles Johnson in the backfield with Barry Smith. 2nd and 5. Throw to Miles in the flats. We like Miles with the ball in space. And Miles gets about 2. Nice to see Barry Smith get his first completion and just find a little bit of a rhythm here. It's going to bring up 3rd and 4 for Eastlake.
I would say that's not where Miles is typically the strongest, and going east-west, he's more a north-south guy, but still good for a couple yards.
Budish subs in. Looks like they will have 2 backs in the backfield or possibly a tight end. Kim and King on the near side. Budish in the backfield at fullback. Miles Johnson at tailback.
Barry Smith hands off to Miles up the middle. Miles slips, gets downhill, and he's really close to the first down. Williams Field was calling for the ball, but the officials are giving us the first down, and that'll be Eastlake's first down of the season. Miles Johnson with a 5-yard carry, or 4. A few subs. Number 12 comes in for Eastlake. James Ort. No, sorry, 11's James Ort.
Yeah,
Ryder Barry Smith. That was Ryder coming in. Ort is in the game. He's tight end on the near side. So we've got Ort and Budish on the near side, kind of a heavy run formation. King and Hanska on the far side. Barry Smith hands off to Johnson. A lot of pressure in the backfield.
Flag down on the
flag. That's in the vicinity of face mask. So we will see. It is the white hat face mask on Williams Field. Not sure what variety. It looks like he's calling second down. So maybe not a personal foul.
One of those incidental ones that happens.
So that'll bring up. He signaled second down. I thought, no, it's first down on the sideline unless they change it. 1st and 7.
Second on the scoreboard now.
The box still shows first down. Barry Smith calls signals. It's going to be a pass. Looking downfield, quick curl. Caught by Hanska. Hanska fighting for yards. Gets a gain of about 5. That's going to bring up, we think, second down and 2.
Pass complete to number 15.
Yep. The official on the near side is signaling second down, so it will be second and short for Eastlake. Coach
Chase's first varsity reception.
Congratulations to Chase Hanska. Chase was a junior receiver last year, hurt his hand, and worked really hard in the offseason with 7-on-7, and that is his first catch, as you say.
Still not sure if it's third. The scoreboard's showing third. The box is showing
it's second. The official's called second.
So
Budish is tight end on the near side, heavy run formation. Miles up the middle, hit hard around the neck.
Yeah.
Gain of about 1, and it'll bring up 3rd and 1. Thought maybe Coach Hurd would take a shot there. He's going to bring in more receivers. Oliphant and Kim come in the game. Budish and Ort leave. So 3rd and 1, it will be a 10 personnel grouping, likely Johnson in the backfield with 4 receivers on the field. Good snap so far by Pax Jacobson. Good job, Pax. All right, and the near side.
Got some special teams snaps last year on the varsity level. Long snapping for varsity last year.
Oliphant on King on the near side. Barry Smith looks the other way. Fakes. Goes down the field wide open. Jacob Kim just out of the reach of his fingertips. I thought Jacob had it.
I did too.
It was a well-thrown ball. It was just over his fingertips, and it's going to be 4th and a long 1, almost 2. And the offense is staying on the field. I suspect Coach Hurd is going to go for it, maybe a quick kick. They reposition the ball. It's 4th and a long 1.
They would just move the box, so 4th and 1.
A long 1. 2:39 to go here in the first. Trips on the near side. Mason King, Oliphant. Barry Smith goes on 2. Looks like Williams Fields crossed the ball, and Barry Smith's voice. 2 false start, or 2 are rather offsides for Williams Field tonight, and
very Aaron Rodgers-ish. That fake count.
Mr. Budish, you are a Wisconsinian and a Packers fan,
yes.
So there's some Aaron Rodgers love there.
Might be a little biased.
All right, first down, Eastlake. Still have the receiving core on the field. That's Jacob Kim, Oliphant, King on the near side, Hanska on the far side. Johnson's in the backfield. Barry Smith, fake hand off to Johnson. He's carrying it himself. Barry Smith gets about a yard. He had 1 player to beat to pick up a handful more, and a nice tackle there by Williams Field. It'll bring up basically 2nd and 10.
And Ryder had a rushing touchdown last year.
He did.
First year
a
playing
big
varsity football. So
Ryder's a great story. Ryder has been a receiver most of his career, a baseball player, and last year Eastlake senior quarterback went down, and Ryder stepped up and played quarterback and was honorable mention all-conference.
Yeah.
All right, 2nd and long. Barry Smith looking downfield. Goes deep. That was Tahanska. He's basically double covered, safety over the top and a corner underneath. Like to see taking some shots at the end zone, but the Williamsfield defensive backs were in position there.
They're right there.
That'll bring up 3rd and 10 for the Eastlake Wolves. Clock stops with 1:55 in the first.
Barry Smith has actually been a quarterback by protest for the better part of 4 years, but he does a great job.
I got to coach Ryder when he was in youth, and I have one amazing memory. His Cubs season, which is mostly 5th grade, he caught a touchdown at the end of regulation against Skyline, and he has played receiver much of his career. Barry Smith fakes to Johnson. He's got space. He's looking downfield, gets rid of it. Caught by 21, Mason King. That's going to be a gain of at least 8. It is 8. It's going to bring up 4th and another long one. Great job by Barry Smith rolling out against.
And Mason King, I mean, that was a great catch with some pressure near him. So
First varsity catch for Mason King. We got a lot of firsts tonight.
Now Mason did bring back a few returns last year as a varsity player, but first varsity reception.
Congrats, Mason. Great job by Barry Smith on the fake and rolling out against his body. Nice throw there, put it where it needed to be. And Eastlake's in position to get a first down here. All right, we've had some barking on 2. It's 4th and 1. See if Barry Smith tries it again. Trips at the far side. Johnson in the backfield. They do hand it to Johnson, and he gets really close, but I don't think he got it. He did not. The defensive line for Williamsfield was stacked, and the Eastlake drive stalls. And the Eastlake defense comes back out on the field. Ball spotted on the 36-yard line of Williamsfield. And we've got mostly the same defense that we saw the first series on the field.
55 seconds left in the first.
The official required that Bratland leave the game. I'm not sure what's going on, whether it's knee pads or... Looks like they're being strict about knee pads. And so that's number 7. Ethan Rogers comes in at free safety. Run up the middle. Wrapped up by 78. A pack of wolves there.
78 is Logan Karsh.
Logan Karsh, good job, Logan.
Gives to number 26, Corshawn Hill.
Corshawn Hill, one of the featured backs for Williams Hill last year, rushed for 723 yards on 86 carries, roughly 8 yards a carry. He's listed at 5'11", 215, so he's a load, and I suspect he looks quick.
San Jose State.
San Jose State, okay. Good research there, Mr. Budish. Williamsfield's got twins at the top with a wing back, maybe a receiver, basically trips, single receiver on the near side. Slow mesh, handoff for about 4. That's going to bring up 3rd and 2 for Williamsfield. And timeout called. That's the end of the quarter. So at the end of the first here, it's Williamsfield 6, Eastlake 0. I like what I see out of the Eastlake offense. Just didn't quite get it done. Williamsfield had a lot of guys in the box. I suspect they're going to force us to throw, and this is going to make it exciting.
I think
next
if they
3
did their
quarters.
homework scouting us, they probably saw what Miles Johnson did last year. And so they're going to stack that box and make us go to the air.
Big shout out to the Eastlake High School and whole athletic department and the WFA, the Wolves Football Association, for putting this on. We'll meet with our president, Jim Ord, at halftime, and he'll share how we got here. You can see on the far side of the field, the Eastlake fans are huddled up in the shade. There's not very much of it, but we have some loyal fans here today. Sean Crandall and Andrew Brill on camera. Also, Chris Hanska up here with us. And Vice President of the WFA, longtime supporter Darren Painter, up here with us. just checked the Cubs. It's 14-0 Eastlake in the third quarter, so that is exciting.
Cam's doing a good job with the offense.
Run up the middle, Williams Field, and he's got space. Jacob Ken turned around, stiff-armed right in the face. Hustle, touchdown. I thought Landon Johnson might get him. Well, the first play of the second quarter is for a long run and a touchdown for Williams Field. Appreciate text there for audio. If we have any rough audio, let us know. It's helpful to get real time.
Lining up the kick. 33 is back to kick again.
Kick is up and it is good. And with 11:50 to go in the first half, Williams Field takes a 13-0 lead.
See the Eastlake return squad back.
Makes the score. Williams Field 18. Eastlake 0.
Williams Field did travel very good to this game. You can see they've got their cheerleaders, and in front of us, I don't know if the cameras can see it, but they've got a good traveling group with them here.
I think last year, Williams Field had an overall 4-7 record. In their region, they were 0-4. It is a tough region that they play in over there in the Gilbert, Arizona area.
All right, well, this will be the second look at the Eastlake offense. Again, Hanska and Landon Johnson back to receive. Williams Field with 6 defenders on the far side, 4 on the near side. Ball's placed on the hash. They kick it deep to Hanska. He's looking in the sun. He receives it. He's got blockers. Hanska comes up across the 20, moves in and out of traffic to the 26-yard line, and we will take over 1st and 10 on the Eastlake 26 with 11:44 to go in half. There's a little bit more of a breeze now than there was at the start of the game. Big shout out to Sean Crandall for all the work to put on this YouTube live cast. We've got 3 cameras up here. Now we have 4. We're gonna have one on our face here soon. You'll get to see Jeremy and my mug.
It's a new feature for the production team this year.
All right, Hanska on the near side, Oliphant, King, and Kim on the far side. Johnson in the backfield. Barry Smith gives it to Johnson, and he's brought down by several Williams Field defenders. They are bringing a lot of heat up the middle.
And there's some big boys on the Williams Field squad. You got a 6'7", a 6'4", 280, 275 respectively, a 6'3", at 235. So there's no lack of size on the front line of Williams Field.
Barry Smith coming in to call the signal. Eastlake in the white with the black helmets. They've got the Wolves logo on this side of the helmet and something else on the other side of the helmet. Trips on the far side. Miles motions out. They look to Miles. Now they're going deep. That's Mason King. Oh, nearly has it. Off the hands of Mason. For a second, I thought that Ethan Rogers might pick up the bobbled ball and go for a touchdown. Mason had the ball in his hands. It popped out. Ethan was there, but just not in time. That'll bring up 3rd and 12 for Eastlake. Nice throw by Barry Smith there in traffic. And glad to see that he had some time there. Eastlake motion to the empty backfield. Pump fake to Miles, the same screen they ran earlier, and caused just enough hesitation for the Williams Field backfield. right, we've got Twins on each side still. Kim and Oliphant on the far side. King motions, arc motion in the backfield. And Barry Smith has a lot of trouble in his face, and I'm a little surprised they didn't call intentional grounding. I think they're having a conversation. There were no, and they are. Yeah, that is going to be intentional grounding on Eastlake. It wasn't clear if there was a miscommunication with the receivers or if Barry Smith, under pressure, just had to get rid of the ball. But in either case, that'll be a loss of down and yards. It'll be a spot foul from the place that Barry Smith threw it. I believe it'll be half the distance to the goal line from the 12, so it should take him down to the 6. And that is exactly what it is. So it's going to be 4th and long for Eastlake. Number 4, Jack Steiner, the punter. Jack played soccer much of his youth and converted to football. I'm not sure that the family wanted that at first, but the Steiner family very much is a football family now, with younger brother Adam also playing, and Jack has been a stud through youth. And his first varsity punt, booming punt to the middle of the field, fielded right at the 50 by Williams Field. Eastlake with punt coverage. And a flag 32, I believe that is Rory Johnson, with his first tackle as a varsity Eastlake Wolf.
A couple flags on the play.
The flags are in the vicinity of what was normally holding or clipping on the return team, unless it's a face mask on Eastlake. Budish, number 8, is pointing the other way. I suspect that'll be a block in the back on Williams Field.
Block in the back action on that reception and subsequent block.
Impressive punt coverage by Eastlake there. The big kick, sometimes you can out-kick your coverage, and the punt returner has a lot of time to move. Ooh, I believe that's a targeting call. Some confusion on the field. Going to take a second to sort this out. The officials are discussing the outcome. And that will be a 15-yard penalty. I believe that was a targeting penalty. If you're on the live stream and you saw something different, let us know. All right, well, Eastlake's got their back against the wall here in the second quarter. Williams Field, handoff up the middle. No, fake handoff. Batted down by Budish. Good defense by number 8, the senior, Nolan Budish, starting at linebacker today for the Eastlake Wolves. Nolan also started a number of the games last year. Nolan, also a standout lacrosse player, will be playing NCAA Division II lacrosse in Idaho. Congratulations to Nolan for that. He's an outstanding defender, long pole, and naturally here he is on defense for the Eastlake Wolves. Well, early on here, Williams Field is showing their might. Yeah. It'll be interesting as the game goes on how that holds true. Twins on the far side, just one receiver here on the wide side of the field. Single back with a fullback there. Run right up the middle. And he is off and running. Another flag. Nice tackle by number 4, Jack Steiner there.
Big hustle by Jack.
Would have been a touchdown saving tackle, but another flag. And that was behind the play. Another holding penalty on Williams Field.
Preliminary indication is a hold on the offense.
It's not clear if the coach is yelling at the officials or his players, but he's visibly upset. Very frustrated Williams Field coach.
Yeah, head coach Steve Campbell's been there since 2007, so been at Williams Field for a minute. Really helped them be as successful as they are today. Built the program.
Trips on the near side, single receiver top, pistol. Sorry, we can't see the numbers of Williams Field. The black jerseys and black numbers are tough. Throw by number 1 deep. He's open. Landon Johnson on coverage. Just over the reach of Landon. Amazing throw by the quarterback there. That's number 1, Dominic Barjona. B-A-R-J-O-N-A. Barjona. Sorry, Dominic, we don't have the correct pronunciation, but that was a nice throw. Little number 1 down there reminds me a little bit of Kyler Murray on the Arizona Cardinals, and of course Williams Field's from the Phoenix area. Williams Field knocking on the door. 1st and goal from the 8. Second time in the red zone. They scored the first time and then scored a long touchdown at the beginning of the second quarter. Here's Dominic rolling out. He's got a lot of time. Eastlake defenders come up and get him out of bounds for a gain of just 1. He'll be pushed out at the 7. Looks like that was Mason King or Ben Hanna that got there first.
Big Kentrell Jackson did a great job covering Dominic on his blind side on that play.
Bring up 2nd and goal from the 7. Both teams with similar offensive formations. Balanced spread operation or trips. Here we've got trips to the near side. Williams Field in the black. Dominic back to throw, gets rid of it. Coverage out of bounds, looking for a flag. It was nice coverage by Jacob Kim. He did have a little contact, but it was out of bounds and the ball was not catchable, so it'll bring up 3rd and 7.
Hooked his arm right as they ran out of bounds.
Interesting watching the Eastlake defense. Williams Field certainly having time to throw, but the defensive backs have been largely in position. Some good throws by Williams Field and good catches. Williams Field, 3 receivers to the near side, single to the top. Looks like that's 26. Corshawn Hill in the backfield. He has the ball. Runs hard to the 2, so it's going to bring up 4th and goal. Williams Field had the first extra point blocked, electing to not kick a field goal here and to go for it on 4th and 2. Corshawn Hill stays in the game. Big back, 215 pounds. 4th and 2, big down here. Handoff, it is up the middle. And he gets in the end zone. I thought I saw the ball bobble for a second, but didn't go anywhere. And Corshawn has the 3rd touchdown of the day for the Williams Field Blackhawks. Jeremy, not the start that we were hoping for today, but there's a lot of time on the clock.
There is.
As we drove in the field tonight, we paid to park, and the San Juan Hills players are here for a fundraiser. They took our money, and we asked how they did last night. Kick is up, and it is good. And they said they scored 35 second-half points and won their game. So for a high school football game, this is not out of reach by any stretch.
Get that first game cobwebs out.
If you joined us late, San Juan Hills High School here in Orange County. We're about a half hour south of the John Wayne Airport. The Eastlake team and parents staying at a nearby hotel flew down here on Thursday. Game started, it was about 80 degrees. The temperature is dropping, and I'm glad about that because the game before us, players were cramping up, and you could see heat was more of an issue. But Eastlake started out on defense. San Juan Hills Williams Field started out the game with the long 75-yard drive, had a couple of 2nd and 3rd and longs, was able to convert. Eastlake had a great first drive, stalled out into Williams Field territory.
We got Hanska and Johnson back to return. Kicking from the near hash.
Same kickoff return personnel we've seen. Ball's kicked to Hanska again. It looks like he's looking right in the sun. Go Chase. Chase with the ball up the hash. Holds on to the ball, gets across the 20. And stays on his feet, but his forward progress was stopped right at the 20-yard line, and the Eastlake offense in white will take over.
That was Chase Oscar Hanska on the return.
Chase Hanska's father, Chris, is to my right on one of the cameras tonight.
And number 27, Blake Strauss.
I got a big speaker in my way, so I'm leaning around the speaker to see the action here. We're up on the upper deck of the press box because it offers us a better view and better camera setups for Sean and the gang.
Indeed we are. Again, double twins for Eastlake. Mason King motions across the formation. Barry Smith looks to the near side. Quick throw to Hanska. He's got it. Wrapped up. Fights for another yard or two. Nice gain on first down to Hanska for 7. So after the kickoff return, I believe that's Hanska's second catch of the night. That one for 7. Budish comes in the game for Mason King. I suspect that'll be a 2-back offense. Budish in the backfield with Miles Johnson. Handoff to Johnson, a wrap of sorts. Miles nearly gets the first down, brought down just a yard short. It's going to bring up 3rd and 1 for Eastlake. Nice run play there. Budish led through the hole, and Miles fought hard. It's 3rd and a half of a yard, really. On the first drive, Barry Smith with his Aaron Rodgers-esque bark, I'll say John Elway bark, was able to get one first down and another 5-yard penalty. Here on 3rd and short, looks the same.
Jacob Kim left the game. I'm not sure who came in for him.
7, Ethan Rogers is on the near side. I think it's Ethan. James Ort also is at tight end on the top. And again, we just said, Ryder Barry Smith with his 3rd
hard count
offsides tonight. He is a pro, making a living with first downs with the count.
Offsides in the defense.
Great job, Ryder.
7:32 remaining.
We've got Ort at tight end on the near side, the junior. James Ort the 3rd. Budish at wingback there. Heavy run formation to the near side. Miles Johnson in the backfield. It is a handoff to Miles, pulling guard and tackle. Oh, had me fooled. Yeah, Barry Smith kept the ball and was wrapped up in the backfield on a naked bootleg of sorts. If Miles kept the ball, I think that would have been a nice gain. He had 2 lead blockers, but the result is loss of 3 yards there. Interesting how that transpired, but I'm sure that coach will take note of that for later. Hanska and King on the near side. Kim and I believe Ethan Rogers on the far side. Barry Smith and Johnson in the backfield. Barry Smith looking to throw. Downfield in the middle, and it's intercepted at the 40-yard line, and it's being returned by Williams Field. And tackle is made by 15, Chase Hanska. That's Barry Smith's first interception of the game, and Williams Field will take over on the 34-yard line. All right, so it's 1st and 10 Williams Field at the Eastlake 34 in the shotgun. One looking to throw downfield, and he's got a receiver. 22.
called
Finn
out.
Hanna was there. I thought for a second Finn was going to knock it down.
I mean, Big James Ort is working hard up front. Like, he is fighting against that big line and getting a lot of pressure deep. Just can't quite get there.
This O-line for Williams Field is big. It'll be interesting how much energy they have in the second half, but right now they are controlling the line of scrimmage.
It's great to see Finn back. He had a season-ending injury last year in week 4, I think it was. So good to see Finn back on the field.
Again, Dominic Barjona drops back, throw over the middle, and it's caught for a touchdown. Landon Johnson was there, but that is caught by number 4. Nolan Tyler, the junior, had 16 catches, 180 yards last year, and has his, I believe, his first touchdown of the season or of the night here. And Eastlake now does have their back against the wall, down 26-0 halfway through the second. Snap, hold, and kick look good, and that will take us to 27-0.
Kick is up and it's good.
It's hard to tell how many of the Williams Field secondary are also playing on offense.
They do have a big squad.
They have a big squad. I don't know that it's very many of them. Eastlake, we've got a few guys, so that'll be another variable at the end of the game is the 2A players, how do they perform in the heat.
Yeah. A couple guys standing up here on the top roof in the wind, breeze, and we're warm. Probably 10-15 degrees warmer down on the turf.
Jeremy Waller, we're at a break here. Shout out for the WFA Wolf Football Association annual fundraiser. It'll be an awesome event, a barbecue. There's a link that is live to register right now. It was sent out to some this week, and it will be posted to social media, and I'm sure sent out much more here in the coming weeks. But we hope to see you there. That'll be a great event with cheer and dance and families from all over the Eastlake community.
Hanska receives it again.
Hanska, the juke. Ball comes out, but out of bounds. And Eastlake will take over on
19.
the
I think that's where
18 or 19, yeah.
And also a shout out for our sponsors, Pine Lake Ale House and Kingston Real Estate. Thank you for your sponsorship of Eastlake football.
Jeremy, you were mentioned here, we're above the press booth on the home side of the field. Below us are the Williams Field fans. We're on top of the press box. We're on a roof, chain link fence. It's designed for cameras up here. We are opposite of the Eastlake fans. Barry Smith in the backfield looks to throw on first down. Mason King with his second catch gets about 4 or 5, and that'll be a pickup of 4 on first down.
Yeah, Mason King with a nice grab.
Good job, Mason. Nice throw, Ryder, after coming back after an interception there. Nice to see him go right back to the senior quarterback. Brings up 2nd and 6.
King on the catch, taken down by Sean Boyd as well as Amasi Glenn.
Hanska and I believe Jacob Kim on the near side. King in motion. Handoff to Miles. Miles gets past the 25. It's going to bring up 3rd and about 4.
It's got a very favorable spot.
Miles Johnson on the carry.
25.
Miles Johnson, another standout athlete. He's a Division I lacrosse commit to Towson University in the greater Baltimore area. Miles, a defensive midfielder at lacrosse and standout running back. He was all conference on both sides of the ball last year. He was I believe, second-team running back and in the secondary. And fake to Johnson. Ball's thrown to Jacob Kim, who evades Williams Field defender and gets a first down for the Eastlake Wolves. Nice throw by Ryder Barry Smith. It was a play action of Miles on the far side, and Jacob got his head around just in time. I was a little bit worried he might hear the footsteps because he had to get his head around, and a nice catch. And then Jacob made the first Williams Field defender miss, and a nice gain on the play, gets out to the 36-yard line. And Eastlake with some offensive momentum inside of 4 minutes here in the second quarter. If you're watching and want to share any feedback, you're welcome to the broadcast. We learn from you when you let us know how things are going. Fake handoff to Johnson. Barry Smith keeps it. The DN contains it, but Barry Smith keeps his feet. Ooh. Barry Smith got hit hard at the end. Looked like helmet-to-helmet contact. Great run by Ryder. He evaded the defensive end.
That D end is quick off the ball and very shifty.
Ryder a little banged up on the play. I should say slow to get up, not banged up. All right, coach calls a timeout. And I believe that is the second timeout for Eastlake. That'll give them one left on this drive. Used one the first play of the game to kind of clean things up. And administratively, Eastlake's operated seamlessly today, both on the penalties and play calls, and we haven't had any mishaps with that regard. Williams Field, on the other hand, has 3 offsides, couple holdings, but they have shown their high-octane offense and taken a big lead here in the second quarter. Congratulations to the Eastlake sophomore team with the win today against Issaquah. A lot of the kids on that team, they're mostly 6th graders, are connected to our varsity high school team. I understand that Gavin Ungst, Hank Reed, Max Lotfee, and Bo Gillette all had touchdowns today.
It's a fun group of boys.
All right, twins on both sides. 2nd and 8. Johnson out of the backfield. Pumps to Johnson. Is a screen here to Landon Johnson, and it goes through his hands. It was a little behind him. Again, Landon, the first year, he's a senior, but first year varsity player. Showing some nice speed, but mishap there. Playing on both sides of the ball. Coach Hurd trying to get Landon the ball in space and let him show off his speed, but incomplete pass will bring up 3rd and 9. Seven, Ethan Rogers, Mason Kim to the far side. Estes Oliphant, Landon Johnson to the near side. 3rd and long. Barry Smith rolls out to his left. Hit as he throws, gets rid of it, and the ball is out of bounds. Barry Smith is slow to get up. He was hit right as he threw, and that will bring up 4th and long, and the Eastlake punt team will come on the field.
Steiner back again to punt.
Hanchka and Landon Johnson, the split ends come in tight for extra protection. Ball is snapped over Jack Steiner's head. Jack is going to field it and punt it. Oh no, it's blocked and it's out of the back of the end zone. That's going to be a safety. That will be 2 points for Williams Field. all things considered, that's probably the best case scenario, but we will have to kick off to Williams Field here with 3:05 to go in the second quarter, and that'll put 2 points on the board for Williams Field after the bad snap.
Now, the good news is whoever took that ball to the belly is probably fielding.
Yeah. Very athletic play by Jack Steiner to field that. Evaded defender, almost got it off. It reminded me of, I think, the Seahawks punter a couple years ago had one like that. The ball was blocked out of the end zone, so that is a safety. If it was recovered in the end zone, it would have been a touchdown. So all things considered, that's best case scenario. The ball will be spotted on the 20. I suspect Eastlake will have their standard kickoff formation. They do have the option to punt it. And it will be a standard kickoff, so you're backed up here 20 yards deeper than you want to be, or where you normally would be from a kickoff where the X is on the 40. And here, number 19, this is Ben Byman, who can kick the ball into the end zone from the 40, but I would suspect here he will bomb it down to around the 20-yard line. They're up on the 25. He can certainly kick it deeper than that.
That would be just fine.
And he does boom it. Williams Field backs up a little, fields it on the 20. And Eastlake coverage. Another flag.
Holding all
Looks
over
like
the
another
place.
hold. A block behind the play. I don't think it's going to matter. There's another flag. I think there's going to be 2 on the play. I believe there's going to be a hold and then a block behind the play. In high school football, they've made a big push for safety. And if there's a block more than 5 yards behind the play that's more than basically equal body pressure or a real block as opposed to a decleat hit, that is going to get called for unnecessary roughness. So there is a block in the back on Williams Field. That penalty is declined. There's a holding on Williams Field, and that penalty will be accepted. Eastlake had good coverage on the play.
Yeah.
Well, Jeremy, let's see if we can get a stop here. The Eastlake defense hasn't been on the field a disproportionate amount of the half, but we've given up some big plays. Big penalty. So Eastlake kicks off after the safety, 2 points. Williams Field has scored 4 touchdowns, missed 1 extra point, rather it was blocked by Barrett Bratlin. And then now a safety on a blocked punt. And Williams Field will take the ball on the far hash with 2:51 to go in the first half. James Orr, 11, the D end on the near side. We talked about earlier. It'd be really nice to see him get to the quarterback here.
It's getting deep.
Number 1 looks deep, and here's James. James has him, and the quarterback evades him. There's going to be a face mask in the backfield. We just talked about James nearly had his first sack of the season.
Got so excited that guy didn't block him that he ran right past him.
And I think that was 57. Henry Volpone was the second Wolf there. Just got a little bit of face mask. And it looked to me, the play was blown dead. I was a little bit surprised. I thought the quarterback was still on his feet, but they blew it dead. And I suppose there will be a spot foul against Eastlake. Yeah, inadvertent, so that should be the 5-yard variety. Not an automatic first down, I don't believe. We don't have the officials on microphones tonight. At Eastlake, we've got mics. It's kind of nice. We can hear them. And between the sun glaring and shadows, it's hard to see some of the hand signals here. But inadvertent face mask. The result's a 2-yard gain net. Would have been a sack. It'll bring first down and 8 for Williamsfield.
33-yard line-ish.
2:43 to go in the second quarter. Number 1 drops back again, looks for an out, deep out. And Mason King was there. He still has his leg.
Another
Not
flag on
sure
the
what the flag is there. Came in late. Like a face mask or horse collar, but
Number 3, John Booker, penalty markers on the field.
holding against Williamsfield. Wow.
Wow. That's a pretty deep holding call.
I don't know if we have the replay there to catch that.
Here we go.
That's replaying Hanska's, or rather, incomplete pass from earlier. I believe the official said the result of the play is a first down. And the chains will move. And the clock starts at 2:30 in the second. Well, on first down, James Ward had some nice pressure. It'd be good to get some of this again. Eastlake looks to blitz. Looking downfield, number 1. The ball is high. Caught! Landon Johnson in the vicinity. Nice curl route there by number 9. Trey Smith for Williamsfield climbed the ladder and got at least a foot in bounds for the completion. Williamsfield marching here in the second. 1 drops back. Or around him, we're going to see another holding penalty. And 57 there. That's Volpone for the tackle, but there will be another holding penalty on Williamsfield.
57 is Jack Devine.
Oh, sorry, Jack Devine. Great hustle by Jack down the field. We aren't keeping the stats of the penalties tonight, but I would guesstimate that Williamsfield's creeping up on 75 or 80 yards here in the first half.
But I can't get the number of the offensive tackle that we're going up against here on this side of the field. But
1 looks downfield. He's got a receiver. He's got him over the head of Jack Steiner. Mason King pushes him out of bounds with a first down.
That's enough for another first down.
Ball be spotted on the 27. First and 10. Just inside of 2 minutes before half here. Williamsfield does have all 3 of their timeouts. Another hold, and James Orr nearly wraps up the quarterback. Pass is completed. Budish in the vicinity. Trips over King. Another flag. Ooh, hard hit by Miles Johnson.
Another flag.
Got 3 flags on the play. The first one was holding. The other 2, are hard to tell if they were on Eastlake or Williamsfield.
Couple penalty markers on the field per rep.
Should we look at the replay that last? See if we can take a look at the last play just to see what happened there. So there's holding on Williamsfield, face mask on Eastlake, penalties offset, replay first down. If you're a Williamsfield fan, I think you would claim there's bias, but You could see there was an Eastlake defender that was tackled by the Williamsfield offensive line there. Williamsfield trips on the far side, single receiver tight on the near side. Clock winds with 1:43.
Back to
Number
pass.
1, Dominic drops back, looking downfield. He's got a receiver and throws behind him. If he caught it, it might have been a first down. That was again number 9, Trey Smith. And that'll bring up 2nd and 10. 1:38 to go until half. Jeremy, if your coach heard, there's a lot of good things going on here tonight. It's just putting all the pieces together.
Sure.
Okay, Williamsfield's got twins on the near side, twins far on the top. Pass rush. Oh! Completed to number 3, and that's a touchdown.
Touchdown.
Landon Johnson was in the area. For a second, I thought he was going to pick it off. And number 1, Dominic Barzona threads the needle for another Williamsfield touchdown. It is 35-0 here before half.
So next Saturday, we're at home against Gig Harbor. Gig Harbor's playing tonight against Peninsula.
I just got word that my younger son, Cameron Oliphant's team won 28-0 against Issaquah today, so congratulations to the Eastlake Cubs. The head coach of that team is Justin Stiles. Justin is here with us today. His oldest son is backup quarterback for Eastlake, outstanding sophomore in the running for the starting job this year, but it traveled with the team here today. And then I'm the president of youth football and also a coach on the team. So shout out to Martin Carlson and Lance Jones and everybody there on defense.
Bishop, right?
John Bishop and Steve John D'Elia. We have a whole host. Shane and Jen Boudreau. We got a host of people there. Congrats to the Cubs.
Yeah, so Gig Harbor next week, 9:13 at 5:30.
Saturday night games.
Saturday night game.
2 Saturday night games. I kind of prefer Friday night lights, but this is a beautiful day for football.
Yeah. And as of right now, Saturday night's looking like a nice night in Sammamish.
All right, 36-0 here,
kick.
and Williamsfield with a pooch kick, fielded by Landon Johnson, and he's up the seam, and this is a bright spot for the Eastlake Wolves. Landon Johnson across midfield to the 30, 20, down at the 10-yard line,
He is fast.
and that is the spark that we needed. The pooch kick, I'm not sure if it was designed to try to create a turnover or just mix things up, and Landon fearlessly fielded it, hit the seam, and he's been on the field a lot tonight on both receiver and corner. I don't know if he's got all of the gas in the tank there, and Williamsfield's got some athletes.
Let's see the replay.
He's chased down at the 10, but Eastlake now in the red zone for the first time tonight with 1 timeout and 1:20 to go until half, and we could cut this lead to a 4-score lead. Ball's on the 12-yard line on the far hash. Near side trips. Kim, Budish, and Hanchka on the near side. Miles Johnson in the backfield. Mason Kim up top. It's a quick pitch to Miles. Miles gets outside and gets about 5 on the play. Gets down to the
Head down and
7-yard line. Gain of 5 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd and 5 as the clock ticks down to about a minute. No need to rush. Eastlake can get a first down, which would bring up 1st and goal. I don't know if they have enough
still have a
time.
timeout left.
Taken down by number 10, Elijah Sanchez.
All right, trips on the far side. Barry Smith fakes handoff to Johnson, evading traffic, and he's brought down at the 8-yard line. That'll be a loss of 9-yard line, loss of 2. And Eastlake calls a timeout.
39 seconds left. I think coach might go away from that fake handoff play, but we'll see.
Barry Smith looks like got a favorable spot there, so it'll bring up 3rd and 6. And the decision will be, if we don't get a first down or a touchdown here, do we go for it on 4th down or kick the field goal to put points on the board? But I'd like to see us get in the end zone here.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Eastlake is out of timeouts. Great kickoff return by Landon Johnson. He fielded that around the 10-yard line and took it all the way down to the Williams Field 10-yard line, 80-yard return. Nearly outran the Williams Field kickoff team. Congratulations, Landon. All right, Eastlake comes out with Hanchka and Mason King on the near side. Budish in the wingback formation with Ort at tight end. Miles Johnson in the backfield. Fake handoff, Miles thrown. Touchdown!
There you go.
Number 11, James Ort III with his first high school varsity touchdown. Great play-action play there for the Eastlake Wolves. Let's look at that again. Ryder Barry Smith with a dart, and James Ort looked like a catcher on a 100-mile-an-hour fastball there, brings it in. Let's take another look at it. Play action of Miles, nobody in the vicinity of Ort, and Barry Smith put it right where he needed to be. Well, great sequence there with the kickoff return set up by Landon Johnson, and on 3rd and long, Barry Smith connects with James Ort for the first Eastlake touchdown of the night. So movement on the line, Ben Byman can boot it a mile off the scoreboard.
Just below the time clock. So
if there's any college kicking scouts, make note that Ben Byman can hit the clock with velocity on a PAT. We're going to talk to Jim Ort at halftime. That was his son with his first varsity catch, first varsity touchdown here with 36 seconds to go in the first half.
Let's see what we do here on this kickoff. 36 seconds left.
We need a stop here. It is great to cut the lead to 29. If you joined late, it was a one-score game at the end of the first quarter, and Williams Field has put it on in the second quarter. Started at the second quarter with a long run, about a 50-plus 52-yarder to score, and then a series of long pass, and then a couple of drives with shorter passes, and then one blocked punt for a safety. But Eastlake breaks the streak and ends the shutout, and now we'll look for a defensive stop. Byman with the boot. Nice kick in the corner.
Takes it down to about the 3-yard line.
Looked like a block in the back there. It is. Nice tackle by 22, Finn Hanna. Finn, we're calling your name a lot tonight. Mr. Budis mentioned it's nice to have you back, and that is a fact. You're playing good Eastlake football.
So there's another Williams Field penalty.
I think that's going to put them over 100 yards in the first half. They're a good team. They're physical up front. They've got good running backs. Their quarterback's extremely athletic. If they can clean up some of these penalties, I could see them having a good season in the greater Phoenix, Arizona area this year. Penalty will push it back all the way to the 12-yard line. Williams Field will take over with 30 seconds to go. Eastlake, secondary, making sure nothing big happens here. Linebackers Steiner, Budish, and Wheeler in the game here. Landon Johnson on the near side. Curl route to land right in front of Landon. We've seen that a couple times. Landon doing what he's got to do to keep the receiver in front of him, but that is a gain of about 20 yards on first down, 7 seconds off the clock. Williams Field does have 3 timeouts. This would be a great time for Ort, who just had a touchdown, to get a sack.
Or for Landon to get a pick. Take
That would
that
work.
too.
Twist on the near side. Looking down the middle of the field. Diving catch. That's number 4.
Nice catch made by number 4, Nolan Tyler, however.
Got a penalty on the play.
Another Williams Field penalty.
I didn't catch that one. Watching the play develop.
It's illegal hands to the face. The white hat is symboling. The Eastlake D-line, I saw a twist where the D-tackle slants out and the D-end goes inside. James Ort went inside, and I think the
Threw him off a little.
guard might have hit James under the chin, and
So we got 17 seconds left in the first half.
wipes off a big gain. The ball was on the 22. He caught it at the 47, and the net result of the play will push them all the way back to the 18-yard line. So that is a, get out my abacus, about a 30-yard swing there. Sorry, it's on the 13-yard line. 35-yard swing. Dominic looking downfield, launches it. Jacob Kim in coverage. Good coverage, and it is caught with 4 seconds to go in the half. The clock's running, but Williams Field has timeouts. I would think they'll burn a timeout there for one last play. Jacob Kim was in position. Great diving catch by the receiver there. And with 4 seconds in the half, Williams Field will try to drop one more play.
Called their timeout. See what they bring.
If you joined us late, this YouTube broadcast started about 40 minutes before 5 p.m. local time. Jeremy Budish and I had a chance to sit down with first-year Eastlake head coach Greg Hurd. Coach Hurd's coached many years. This is his first year with Eastlake. Was a outstanding high school player, played at Eastern Washington, and then played in the NFL for a little bit. And Coach Hurd became part of the Eastlake family back in the spring and has been a huge impact to this football community since he arrived, impacting everything from the weight room and 7-on-7 to just bringing on a tremendous amount of new coaches. And while the scoreboard's not where we want it tonight, I think everybody that's following Eastlake is very excited about the direction of this program.
Absolutely.
So Eastlake will be in a prevent defense of sorts, which I think Chris Berman would say doesn't prevent anything, but Miles Johnson, the starting tailback, is deep with Landon Johnson and Mason Kim and Jacob Kim at corners. They throw it to the running back, and he will be wrapped up by Finn Hanna again as the clock expires. Pickup of 12 yards. Another flag. I suspect this is behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be on Williams Field. Personal foul. Penalties decline, and that is the end of the first half with the Williams Field Blackhawks 36, Eastlake Wolves 7. We'll take just a minute here. We're going to put Jim Ort, the president of the Wolves Football Association, known as the WFA, on the microphone here. Jim Ort's been president of the WFA for a couple of years now. Where should we stand here, Sean? We'll have a chance to see Mr. Ort. Maybe with the sun in our face. Okay. Jim, we're going to stand over here. All right. Well, here we are with Jim Ort. Are we good? Sean Crandall holding the camera here. This is a new camera that we didn't have before.
Last year.
And there's been a lot of new things, Jim. You came on as president of the WFA last year. You had a second-year head coach that was doing good things for Eastlake, but had to leave for various reasons. You were instrumental in the offseason in bringing on Greg Hurd here, which has done a lot of things, and you've been right in the middle of getting ready for the season. So welcome to the booth here.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, looking excited. I'd say you guys, the way we set this up this year, this looks great. I mean, this is a first-class operation, and all the thanks goes to all the team here. Sean, Andrew, yourself, Jeremy, Chris Hanska, everybody's doing such a great job. I think everybody who's watching us tonight would get appreciation about what it's like to be here. We're hoping that this gives everybody a chance to be not here, but to have a pretty good visualization of what we're doing. Yeah, and as it relates to WFA, I can't say enough about how the boosters, all our boosters, particularly all the families, moms and dads, grandmas, parents, all our youth players, all of our Wolves who participate to help this make a big thing. This is a super, super cool event for us, so I can't say enough thank yous to all them.
Well, let's talk about how this happened. Last year we had Coach Hare, who was from Phoenix, and when it was announced we were playing a team from Arizona in California, there was a lot of confusion, and Williams Field's name itself is confusing because you think that you're playing at a field, but that's the name of the high school, Williams Field. But here we are in Orange County. How did this come about, Jim?
This is a great story. Last year when Coach Hare was with us, we talked about taking the team on the road to maybe San Diego to a bigger event called the Veterans Bowl, which was a really cool event, but we had to wait in line. We had to wait for that. And then unfortunately, Coach Hare had moved on from our school, and we sort of looked at it as we needed something to rally behind and something to build on. We were fortunate enough that San Juan called. We got a call from this group here that said, "Hey, we'd like you guys to participate with this," and so we carried it forward. I immediately jumped in and said, "Yeah, we're going to do that." Association, both for our teams, our families, our community, and our football program. So we jumped on that as fast as we could, and all winter long we worked on it. We worked on getting everybody set to go. This was completely funded by WFA. All the players, the hotels, the food, the meals, logistics, everything was covered by our boosters, the support of our community, and we couldn't be more grateful to it. And that's how we got started today here. And of course, you can see by where we're at. This is just a great venue to start our season off, and the excitement we've had has just been amazing.
I agree. And when this first came out, and some of you on the live cast might ask, why would you go all the way to Southern California to play your first game? But what I would say is you're watching the game here and you're seeing what's going on in the field, but this week is much bigger than just this game. Coach Hurd just joined us in the March time frame. We didn't even know who Coach was. Yeah. He didn't have any assistant coaches at that time. And so this team has had to gel in a short amount of time. This summer they went to camp at PLU, and in the summer camps are difficult. A lot of guys are playing baseball and lacrosse still, and then had a secondary camp at Central Washington, an overnight camp that was exciting there. But in a way, this is an extension of that leading into the season back in Seattle. You've been down here. The team flew down on Thursday. Talk a little bit about the camaraderie that you've seen here with the group.
I tell you, Coach, when we got to the airport, we were, as a team, lined up. We had all of our gear. Our swag was there. The team was excited. The plane ride down. We got on the buses. When they all got here, it was like a first-class show. And actually, what I was trying to explain to them, this is exactly how big-time programs run. Like, this is exactly what they do. Let's get your mind focused for football. Yeah, it's a little bit of a flyaway distance for them, but frankly, we got down here and we felt like we were at home with each other. I think the 3 days the team has been here has given them a bonding. Of course, on the field here, this is our first day. This is our first day at work, and so I'm seeing some good things. I've said the same thing you've been doing, is that I've seen some good plays. I've seen some one-on-one battles that are winning, and I think we're just improving from that. And I think the team has benefited from traveling together to get there.
I agree. It's exciting to see the boys out there, and last year we graduated a lot of good seniors, and so there's a host of seniors that are starting this year that didn't play.
We've got some of our JV are here with us. We've got some starters on our juniors that are coming up. We've got a lot of good things coming our way. I definitely see
even that. On special teams, a host of sophomores tonight that traveled with the team.
I mean, how exciting is that? Having some of and these are guys that you and I coached for, where they were just little guys now, and now here they are out here putting big man show on. So
so a little history. Coach Jim and I have been friends for 20 plus years, but Estes, number 2, James Ort, number 11, started playing together when James was in 3rd grade, and Estes was in 4th grade, and you and I coached together for years, and I've got a younger son. I stayed back. You coached in the high school the last couple years. You took last year off and became the president of WFA, and I would say you've taken the WFA to another level. And just looking ahead, my wife Adrienne, shout out to her. She's putting on the fundraising event here.
She stepped into this. Yep, she knew the value of that.
And she asked me to put a plug in there tonight. We already talked a little bit about it, but on October 4th, there's going to be a community event, and it's put on by the WFA. It's centered around the football organization, but we have much more than that. Can you talk a little bit about what that is?
Yeah, this is a great event for all of our Wolves, all of our communities, all of our players, all of the sports that come together. This is one of those where we're trying to make everyone get in under the tent so that we could really raise as much money as we can. WFA has really spent a lot of time trying to raise money, not just for our football program, stuff that we do here on the field and outside, but also to support our other Wolves, our volleyball teams, our basketball teams, our girls teams. All of those programs benefit. So I would encourage everyone to come out on our auction, or not our auction, but our fundraiser in October. Like you said, Adrian's running that, so it'll be a lot of fun. I think there's going to be community events like the cheer team will be there, band will be there. So really,
wait a minute. Cheer and band are going to be at the fundraiser.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Exactly. So I think if you're at home and you can hear Dave-O and I really would encourage you to bring everyone you can to this event. This is what benefits the Wolves. I think some of the stuff that you're seeing tonight is some of the outcomes of that.
And for the event, the tickets are for sale online, I believe. Are they?
Yeah, they're online. Wolvesfootball.com. Go to wolvesfootball.com. If you can donate, if you can't make the event, we'd appreciate a donation. Any generosity you do for the Wolves, we spread that around. We've been doing some really good things this year, like our concession stand has been up. We've been now be able to get to the youth programs. We've been trying to support our state teams that go and travel for that. So I think big-time programs require big-time boosters, and I think we've got that started for us.
I'm going to pull up a note here. I think I had a specific on that. It's October 4th. It's 5 p.m. At the Pickering Barn in Issaquah there.
We got a band that's going to be there. It's just super good. Dr. Nay's band will be in there.
Yes.
Fun, games, food, drink. We're just hoping that everybody comes and gets a great time. I think every dollar that we raise, just know that it goes to the Wolves, and the Wolves, benefit from it, from all of our generosity.
And I think the message, too, is it's not about a big amount of money that we're looking for everybody. We want people there getting excited about Eastlake.
Like Friday Night Lights.
Absolutely.
Friday Night Lights was just a fun event. I think more of that gets us all better and better.
Well, let's talk about Friday Night Lights. It was broadcasted. We didn't announce that it was going to be broadcast because it was a little bit of a dry run for us last weekend. And this has been going on for a few years, but you've again helped take it up to another notch there.
Yeah.
And the stands were packed.
Yeah, well, we were packed this year.
It's amazing. On Labor Day weekend, on Friday night,
in the middle of summer,
and it was a super fun event. It included dance, cheer, youth football. The JV and the C team had some good action. And food brought in for the varsity players. And
our Friday Night Lights is like our show pony night. Like, we get everybody out there with all of our show ponies are out there. And making that comment about our youth program, as I've said, and I tell all of our families and friends that are watching, our youth program is our national treasure. 100% of why our Wolves grow is because of Dave-O and his group. We're super proud of what he's done, and of course all these boys on the field, most part of these boys have been on the field, have played under one of our coaching through the years, so that's a huge asset. And really, Friday Night Lights leads into what I think is going to be what we need to do. It brings everybody up under the Wolves. Everybody gets involved. We had such a great time that if you hadn't had a chance, go to wolves.com, wolvesfootball.com. There's a picture of our night there. They had all the teams in there, the JVs, the youth, everybody. It was a super well-run event. Thanks to Jenny Johnson, Sarah Goldie, our AD, and all our volunteers. It was such a big ass. It was a big night for us.
There's so many different boosters and WFA members to give credit for, but just a few that I saw. Tricia and Trey Flynn have been instrumental. Their son's starting at right tackle tonight. They were there coordinating painting containers in the press booth, pressure washing the last couple weeks.
Cleaned our house.
People like Peter Crosley doing digital audio, video up in the press box. Of course, our whole video team. And then behind the scenes, of course, yourself and Vice President Darren Painter, but your wives, Ginger and Rebecca, are a heavy part of that. And Holly Unk stepped up. Holly has a youth player and also a freshman. She's the new secretary.
Farrah Borup, our volunteers. You got Nicole Crandall, who's now stepped into our freshman piece. I mean, this is just on and on and on, the amount of effort that all these folks do to make this all just look seamlessly. And really, one of the big things we've been trying to work on this year is we really want to work on our sponsorship. Some of our best sponsors we have got for years and years and years, but if, we can work on getting our corporate sponsors up and keep moving forward with some of the benefits of that, it just pays off for all our Wolves. So again, I would just encourage, if you want to know more about to join the WFA, you want to know more about how you can be involved with the Wolves, you want to be more involved in anything to be with this program, wolvesfootball.com. Reach out to one of us, myself, you, anybody, and we'd be happy to just kind of get you in the family here.
And I would say, we're ripping off all these names. You'd think, well, there's not anything else that's needed, and it's
yes, never.
We've already got ideas. Tonight, we really don't have the stats people keeping game stats like we would like, and so even next week we're home at 5 p.m. against Gig Harbor
next week.
Saturday night, and I cannot wait for that game. We're going to be there. We're going to be calling it live, just like we are here. But even as soon as that game, we have needs. So if you are part of the community, or maybe even an alumni, we reached out to some of the alumni on our youth football this week. We got some great shout outs from some of our folks. It would be great to get folks back, even if you can't contribute all season. We can find a place where you can contribute.
We'll take you when we get you. Yeah, next week when we break our home opener too, we're going to really focus on a lot of the youth that come to the games. We're going to focus on our cheer teams. We're really going to incorporate a lot of the other Wolves involved in just the football game. So if you're at home, try to get down to the stadium.
Awesome. Well, Jim, again, thank you for coordinating this event. When the email came out that it was a rumor for a long time. When this was a real thing, I think we all took a deep breath, and today was a busy day. First week of school in Seattle. We had school on Tuesday, 4-day week, and the kids flew on Thursday. But you have run this event, Coach Hurd, everybody, so seamlessly, and I would say that the schedule that the boys have been on, you mentioned it was a team building event. I couldn't agree with that more. They flew here on Thursday. There was meetings and practices and film reviews and organized team dinners, and again, practice on Friday and meetings. And more of that today, and then tomorrow the team will fly home, I think late morning, and get back to work in Sammamish on Monday.
So.
But this has been a business trip, and the scoreboard's not what we want right now.
No.
The second half, I think we'll see what happens there. Hopefully we get some offense going.
We'll look forward to the broadcast, you and Jeremy, for sure on that.
What's your prediction for the second half here?
I'd like to see us get about 2 or 3 more scores out of this. I think that was a big drive for us to get there. I'd like to see us. I think some of our up front guys are doing a great job being an offensive coach for a long time. So I'd like to see that go on, and I just want to see these guys keep winning individual battles each time they're out there. So this is a great game for them to sort of have that. So
awesome. Mr. Ort, thank you, sir. Prez.
My president too.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Got about 2.5 till the half is over. And the Williams Field Blackhawks, who are in their black jerseys and black helmets, also black numbers. They're outlined in gray or silver. Very difficult to see the numbers, but they are taking the field. And the Eastlake Wolves, which are in white jerseys, black pants, and black helmets, coming in on our left. Eastlake will start with the ball here in the second half. If you joined us late, we started the broadcast about 40 minutes before game time. I'd suggest you go back and watch it later sometime this week. My amigo here with me, Jeremy Budish, and I had a chance to sit down with the Eastlake head coach, Greg Hurd, and it was really a special time that we got to get with him. He was down here in the hotel, and we were able to do a Microsoft Teams call and record it and then replay it here on the broadcast. But really got a glimpse into where Coach Head's at of the season, and also what he's building with the Eastlake Wolves.
Yeah, it was a fun interview. Kind of got to look into his thoughts and his past and see what he's got for a vision for the future. It aligns very well with what you and Jim were just talking about. and where the program's going. So it's super exciting.
I'm just
and
checking.
I just re-mic'd myself up, so if there are sound issues, send one of us a text. That would be great. I know there was some feedback earlier that my mic wasn't picking my voice up as good as Dave's. Probably because Dave's a true pro, and I'm the
learning.
the apprentice here.
We're getting it dialed in. Your text messages really help because we can't hear ourselves. We don't have an earpiece, and it looks like Jeremy's microphone's perfect, but if it's not being picked up, let us know, and we'll try to adjust that. Coach Hare. Coach, we wish you the best. You did a lot of good things for this program, and
a lot of the guys that are out here starting today under Coach Hare's tutelage last year.
Yeah.
So
Coach Hare was a fun coach. He had a lot of unique ways that he coached the game of football. Little things like we had a lot of two-way players last year, but part to save the players' energy, there was very little warm-up on game day. He was good to just get off the bus and go to kickoff team, and whether you agree or disagree with it, it worked.
Yeah.
I loved it. A very efficient head coach. Very knowledgeable.
Very much keep the game simple, go play football. Now the question is he watching to see the boys, or is he watching because he thinks he's going to match up against Williamsfield at some point this year?
Well, Coach, if you play Williamsfield, we got your back. We hope that you perform well against them. So starting the second half, just kind of reviewing some of the activity in my head. Miles Johnson, the starting tailback, has largely been contained. He's had several rushes in that 3 to 6 yard range. Hasn't broke anything big, but has carried the ball for, I'll say, a dozen times here in the first half. Barry Smith's carried it a couple more times than I expected. He's had a couple good runs and then a couple where he got tripped up in the backfield. Receiving core, we've seen catches by Mason King, Hanska, Ort for the touchdown.
A couple targets to Landon Johnson.
And one nice catch by Jacob Kim there, I believe, that he had a big first down on late in the second quarter. I don't believe Budish has a reception yet, but has played well on both sides of the ball, both at the blocking kind of fullback formation and at the inside linebacker. The first half started out with Williamsfield having the ball. 65-yard drive, converted a couple of second and long and third and longs. It was very close to getting off the field, the defense off the field the first drive, but Williamsfield drove down and scored. Probably a 12-play drive.
Yep.
Eastlake came back with a nice drive themselves and got down into Williamsfield territory and was unable to convert on fourth down. And the first quarter was a little bit slow after that, but the start of the second quarter, Williamsfield went for a long touchdown and then had some big defensive stops. Eastlake did have one turnover. Ryder Barry Smith threw one interception. He's got one touchdown and one interception in the first half.
But very clean on penalties by the Wolves in the first half.
Very clean on penalties. And
I'm going to also go ahead and take a $2 bet that Williamsfield does not attempt to kick it to Landon Johnson. Just a bet.
Tonight, Landon Johnson, I believe, has 2 kickoff returns. Hanska's got a couple. All have been fielded clean and ran well. On the first kickoff return, Landon Johnson fielded it, slipped a little bit, had a huge hole, and I think got out around the 30-yard line. And then if you are just joining late, Landon fielded a kickoff return. We were down 36-0 and took it all the way down to the 10-yard line. And then on third and about 8, Ryder Barry Smith threw a touchdown to James Ort. Nice play action. Ort was wide open. Barry Smith threw a dart and converted our first touchdown of the night.
They are lined up on the near hash, and Landon Johnson is on the near side, so potentially they are, and I'm going to lose my $2 bet here.
The sun may be in the returner's eyes. It's hard to tell. It is to our right, Kicked in the shade to Landon. They do kick it to him. Ball goes out of bounds. Flag's thrown. That'll be spotted, I believe, on the 35-yard line. Some extracurricular activities at midfield that Brady Vandermeed was not very happy about.
I think I heard also on the last play of the game of the first half there was a little scuffle on the field between a few of our folks.
All right, so to start the second half, just checking the line, we've had Pax Jacobson, 77, snap on the ball. He's done a great job today, the junior. 56, Volpone and Finn Waldron at guard and tackle, and then Jack Devine, or sorry, 57, Jack Devine,
62 Mason
62,
Flynn.
Mason Flynn.
They've been steady. They've done a great job up front.
Riders had time to throw.
Yeah.
When we've ran the ball, generally speaking, Miles has got positive yards, but there's been a pack of Black Hawks. The Williamsfield Black Hawk defense has not given up any big run plays.
Looks like we're having a little conference at midfield with the officials. Not sure what they're talking about, but
there's a little breeze picking up. Personal foul on Eastlake, it looks like, late. The white hat official for tonight explaining to Coach Hurd what happened here. I thought it was a symbol for personal foul, but he may have been referring to the clock. The clock did not run. The ball landed in bounds. Did it land in bounds or did it land out of bounds? I thought it landed.
No, it went.
Yeah.
Landed in bounds and then rolled out. Yeah.
And Eastlake is backing up. It will be a penalty on Eastlake. We mentioned there was some extracurricular. I didn't see it. I did not see a flag thrown, but that will push Eastlake all the way back to the 20-yard line.
It's unfortunate.
But I'm glad that we've got the ball, and it is the start of the third quarter here in sunny Southern California. We are at San Juan Hills High School in Orange County near Laguna Beach, Laguna Hills. And we've got Hanska and Oliphant, childhood friends, on the near side. Kim on the far side, handed off to Miles Johnson. Miles with his first big run of the night. There he goes. Miles Johnson picks up 12 yards on first down, and that's what we're used to seeing out of Miles Johnson and this Eastlake offensive line. Nice run by Miles. If you just look at Miles on paper with his weight and height, you would never think that he packs a punch like he does, but he's very strong and he's shifty.
And last year, Miles had almost 1,000 yards, just 6 yards short of 1,000, and 7 touchdowns.
Barry Smith looks to throw balls.
Great ball to Jacob Kim, just batted down by the Williamsfield back.
The ball came out of Barry Smith's hand weird. I didn't know if it slipped or if he got hit, but it was, as you mentioned, it was in a good spot. Jacob just not able to come up with a good defense there by Williamsfield cornerback. Second and 10 from the 32. Again, Hanska and Oliphant on the near side. I believe that's Kim and King on the far side. Miles Johnson in the backfield on 2, and for the fourth time tonight, Barry Smith draws the Williamsfield defense offsides. That is the 4th encroachment penalty on the defense tonight. Williamsfield subbing in some new players. I suspect with the lead that they may be getting some other guys some playing time. Their D-line and their O-line are big up front. Trips on the far side. Hanska, the solo receiver, on the near side. Miles Johnson motions out of the backfield. They pump fake to Miles. Screen to Jacob Kim, and Jacob Kim's got a first down and more. Gets across midfield. Jacob Kim protects the ball and gets down to the Williams Field 48-yard line. So a big first down. Nice throw by Barry Smith. I think we saw a version of that play earlier tonight, and Jacob didn't get across the formation, and we had a intentional grounding called. I was worried about the same situation there. Ryder was looking for his target and had to pump fake. Great throw, great time to throw, and a huge first down for the Eastlake Wolves. Budish comes in the game. And again, Barry Smith on 2. That is the 5th.
6, I think. 6.
6 offsides or encroachment penalty on the defense. If we were back in Seattle, they play the backup alarm of a heavy piece of equipment.
Yes.
Beep, beep, and we've had a few beep
Or
beeps
maybe
tonight.
You can't do that cheer.
All right, first down and 5 for Eastlake on the near hash. The ball's inside the 45 on the 43-yard line. Hanska on the near side. Budish in the backfield with Miles Johnson. Handoff to Miles. Miles with the zone read. Picks up about 1. Wrapped up by a host of black jerseys. Jeremy, I think I can take my sunglasses off for the first time tonight.
Yeah, the sun has gone down over the hills behind us. Still a little bit of sunshine on the field, but it is nice to have a little bit of relief from the sun.
All right, again, Eastlake with the same personnel. Budish in the backfield with Johnson. Fake handoff. Looking to Budish. He is there. Barry Smith gets rid of it. Hit as he throws. Good defense by Williams Field. I was shocked that they picked up Budish on the play action there, but the defender was ready. I was a little bit surprised Barry Smith threw it, but it was good defense by Williams Field there, and Budish subs out.
Jacob Kim came in.
I think that was Oliphant, too, came in. Jacob was already still in. Yeah, Jacob is on the near side with Hanska now. Oliphant on the far side with Mason King. 3rd and 4 for Eastlake. Barry Smith looks to throw. Looking down the field. Takes a shot. And he got it!
Oh, nice grab.
Chase Hanska. Ball was slightly underthrown. Hanska did a great job coming back to the ball.
It's about 17.
Barry Smith had all day to throw there. Interesting spot. Barry Smith went down on the... Let's take a replay shot there. Great job by the Eastlake offensive line. Barry Smith steps up in the pocket like a pro, double clutches, and hats off to Hanska for coming back to the ball. That's a difficult catch, head first, coming back at the ball with a high velocity like that. Huge first down as Eastlake's driving here to start the second half. And Barry Smith barking the count like he has. Motion to Kim. Handoff to Jacob Kim. Quick pitch up the middle. And Jacob
still up.
I think they called forward progress.
Flag. I think they got a late hit out of bounds on Jacob as he went out of bounds. A Williams Field player hit him very hard.
That was a shovel pass of sorts to Jacob. First time that he's, I guess that would be considered a pass. It was a forward pitch. Williams Field player number 20 comes off the field, appears to be injured. There was a flag on the play, but there is no... I believe because it was not clear that the play was over and Jacob kept running, that the Williams Field defender thought that the back was still alive. It was kind of like an inadvertent whistle, but his forward progress had stopped. Okay, James Ort's in at receiver, out in the slot on the near side. Hanska and Kim. Mason King on the far side. Kim goes in motion. Barry Smith looks to throw, takes a shot. He's got Kim just overthrown.
Pass intended for number 3, Jacob Kim. On the coverage, number 21, Sean Boyd.
Number 2, Oliphant comes in the game. Looks like Kim will take a breather after a run and a attempted throw to him. Another player's out tonight's Jimmy Reed we're missing. I forget to mention Jimmy. Jimmy got really sick during the preseason and still kind of overcoming that.
I think you also told me Wilson Fang is not.
Oh, Wilson Fang also,
tonight.
yes. Trips on the near side. Ort, Hanska, Oliphant. Miles Johnson motions out of the backfield.
Another false start by Williams Field, the far side tackle.
All right, this is wild. If this was a close game, I think their coach would
be losing his mind.
Might have the kids running laps during the game, but it is Eastlake's benefit. Takes the ball down to the 15-yard line, inside the 15. It'll be 3rd and a long 4. Again, Eastlake comes out with trips on the near side. Hanska, Ort, Oliphant. Miles Johnson in the backfield, motions out. Barry Smith goes to Miles Johnson in the flats. Miles in space. Miles Johnson inside the 5. Touchdown! Miles Johnson!
Let's see that one again.
Barry Smith with his second touchdown throw of the night. Empty backfield. Nobody was guarding Miles. The replay cut out there, sorry.
Offensive line did a great job.
Great job. Ryder with the read. I think the first read was a throw downfield. He didn't see what he liked. Didn't like what he saw. And hit Miles in the flats. And Miles is shifty. And I was a little surprised he cut it back against the grain right up the middle there. And looked to be wrapped up on the 2-yard line. And Miles with his strength punches it in. And Eastlake cuts the lead.
Ben Byman hitting above the clock this time on the extra point.
Yeah, let's score some more touchdowns so we can measure it and we can see if he can go up the meter there.
Definitely climbed on that one.
Jeremy, looks like there's going to be another game tonight. If you could see on the far left of the stands on the far side of the field, there's another team warming up. There's been games here all day hosted by San Juan Hills High School. The Eastlake fans on the far side of the field, you notice they're all bunched in the far right corner. When we first arrived, the sun was beating down and those trees to the right were providing just enough shade for the families to cuddle up as if it was a cold game and there was a fire over there or something, keeping them warm.
Looks like the next game is the Corona Del Mar Sea Kings against the Green Mountain Rams.
And that is the Rams warming up over there. I can just barely see their helmets, reminiscent of the Colorado State or Los Angeles Rams. Williams
Looks like we
Field.
have the offensive line coach down below us, and he is having a discussion about false starts, I would guess.
The defensive line, yes.
Defensive line.
Ooh, short kick by Byman. Interesting. This is going to bounce. Ooh, it's misfielded. Now it's fielded. Why did the whistle blow? Oh, a fair catch. Okay, interesting. So a fair catch was called. He fumbled it. If you fumble a fair catch, the defense can receive it, but then another player possessed it. So because the fair catch was called, Williams Field was not allowed to advance the ball. The ball is spotted on the 23-yard line, I believe where it was first touched at the fair catch. And the Eastlake defense will take the field. The temperature has dropped substantially. It's down
Very lovely.
around 70. Feels great right now. A little bit windy in our face. And Williams Field in the black is going right to left. Miles Johnson back at free safety. Run up the middle. And Jack Steiner has the back and spins him around on the 47. Big gain for Williams Field. I saw 26, Adam Barrick in the game at fullback, or rather at middle linebacker for Budish. And also number 33, Caden Eaton. So Eastlake cycling in some other defenders, guys that have been two-way players, which in this case was Wheeler and Budish. Budish playing both sides of the ball. Still have Ryder Paterno, the D end on the far side, James Ort on the near side. I'd love to see them get a sack here. 2 backs in the backfield, run up the middle, and James Ort wraps him up, but not after he drags him for a gain of 12, and that'll be a first down, Williams Field.
Number 41, free agent, Romeo Jones. First down.
Williams Field going with the hurry-up offense. No huddle. Trips on the far side, single back behind the quarterback. Receiver on the near side. And looking to throw. Quick curl route is caught. Landon Johnson in defense pushes him out of bounds. On the 32, that'll be a gain of 9 on first down. That is number 9, Trey Smith, who's had a handful of catches tonight. Budish back in the game for Eaton. Adam Barrick still in the game. 57, Devine still in the game. I think he's played the whole game. What a beast. And 64, Finn Waldron. Fake handoff up the middle. A counter of sorts to number 3. And he's wrapped up inside the 20 by number 20, Miles Johnson. Not sure if that Miles' first tackle of the night or not, but Miles getting it done on both ends of the field. Trips on the far side. This is Corshawn Hill still in the backfield. And the ball fake to Corshawn. Throw over the middle to 3. Miles Johnson hits him hard, but not before he gets the first down. That's number 3, John Booker.
And Booker.
And that will be first and goal for Williams Field. 6:30 to go in the third quarter, with the Williams Field Blackhawks up 36-14. Bunch trips to the far side. Quarterback roll out in the flats. Great defense by Jack Steiner there. The quarterback put it in about the only place that it could possibly be caught by the receiver, and it's just out of his reach. Jack was there. If it was thrown behind him, Jack would have had an interception there. Volpone comes in the game, number 56. 64. Finn Waldron takes a breather. And that'll bring up second and goal. Spread formation, Twins on the near side and the far side. Ball's on the hash. Corshawn Hill in the backfield. Quarterback looking to throw. Ball comes out of his hand. Picks it back up. And the ball's on the ground, and the Eastlake sideline is going nuts.
It's our ball.
And that is number 57, the junior Jack Devine, with the first turnover chain of the night. Let's watch that again. Ball just slipped out of the quarterback's hand, Dominic Barjona, and I thought he had it back, and I saw the white jerseys on the other side going up and down, and Eastlake will take over with a huge goal line stand inside the red zone. Williams Field took over after the kickoff and marched down the field, and the first turnover of the night for Williams Field. And Eastlake will take over on the 13-yard line about halfway through the third quarter. Got Landon Johnson, Estes Oliphant on the near side, Jacob Kim and Mason King on the far side, Miles Johnson in the backfield, Barry Smith at quarterback, another hard count. Barry Smith fakes it to Johnson, stiff arm, and good defense by
Barry Smith.
Slow to get up. Good defense by Williams Field there. I hesitated because it looked like they were calling for a trainer, but subbing in some players here. Jacob Kim comes out. Somebody else came out. It looks like Estes Oliphant comes out. Budish and James Ort come in. Barry Smith in the backfield at quarterback with Miles Johnson on the near side, Mason King and Landon Johnson. Ort and Budish in the backfield, or rather, Ort's at tight end, Budish was at that wing back. Big pass and catch to Mason King.
Mason King having a great night tonight.
Mason having a huge night. Some kind of alarm going off. Not sure what that is. Sounds like somebody pulled a fire alarm. Everybody ignoring.
Steel container is on fire below us. We are in a very good spot.
Fire alarm is off, or whatever that was. Same formation for Eastlake. Ort at tight end, Budish at wing back, Mason King and Landon Johnson in the back, or on the near side. Miles Johnson again, and Miles is still on his feet. Miles Johnson!
Wow.
Deep into Williams Field territory.
Let's see that one again.
We talked about Miles in the first half. They had done a good job containing him, but here in the second half, Miles has run the ball really well.
It's a great lead block by Budish.
Miles,
that boundary defensive player.
Miles showing some breakaway speed there. If he doesn't go out of bounds, that might go to the house. Great job, Miles Johnson. Inside the 40, down to the 38-yard line. Big pickup on the play. We talked about Miles only having runs of 3 to 6 yards in the first half. He's got several over 10, including the touchdown pass and catch for 15. Throw in the flats to the near side. Landon Johnson.
That's Landon's
and another first down for Eastlake.
And Landon's first catch tonight.
Landon Johnson's first catch. Landon's also had a good game. He's had a lot of tackles. He's been on coverage quite a bit tonight. He's had his hands full on defense guarding Trey Smith and some of the other receivers. But here gets his first catch. He's had a big kickoff return. And Eastlake now knocking on the door to the red zone. Let's see what Coach Herds has drawn up. I like the play calls this whole second half.
It's been great. Made some adjustments at halftime.
Spread formation. Johnson and Oliphant to the near side. Kim and King to the far side. Oliphant in motion. And handoff to Steiner. I didn't notice that Miles Johnson had left the game for a moment. That was Jack Steiner in the backfield.
Okay. Jack going up. Miles coming back in.
Unfortunately, his first run this year is for a loss of a couple yards. That'll bring up 2nd and 12 for Eastlake in white here, going left to right.
Also great to see Jack back. He had a knee injury at the end of last year, and great to see him back out on the field. Jack, part of the Eastlake lacrosse team that won the Washington 4A state championship this year.
Yes, indeed.
Long pole defender.
And we didn't mention Estes Oliphant, also a long pole defender on that state champ
Pretty
team.
much the whole Eastlake defense is out here tonight.
Takes a shot. Oh! Intended for Oliphant in the end zone.
Ryder got hit.
Ryder is slow to get up. Hurd is on the field. He's being helped up.
Sean Boyd on the pass breakup.
Good defense there by Williams Field. Okay, let's talk about the quarterback situation. We hoped we were not in this situation, but we are. We have two seniors that are quarterbacks, Ryder Barry Smith, who was the returner from last year, and then we also have J.R. Gill, a senior for the Eastlake Wolves. J.R.'s a 6'2" quarterback who grew up in Sammamish, played youth football with most of these boys, moved to Phoenix for a couple years, started last year in Phoenix a little bit.
Started at Valley Christian. Looks like he had about 780 yards passing last year, had a good season. Played 7 games for Valley Christian.
And here he comes in the game. Ryder must leave for at least a play after going down with a tough deck of cards. That's J.R. Gill, number 5. It's 3rd and 12 for the Eastlake offense. We've got Landon Johnson, Oliphant, and Jacob Kim on the near side. Make it Mason King on the far side. Hard count by Gill. Gill looking down the field. He throws it. Mason King hit hard, but not before he gets inside the 10-yard line, down to the 8-yard line for an Eastlake first down.
That was a great ball.
Great ball. J.R. Gill, 1 for 1, converts a 3rd and 12, and Eastlake is now 8 yards away from cutting this to a 3-score game. Sorry, it is a 3-score game to a 2-score game. Budish comes in the game in that wingback formation. Miles Johnson in the backfield. Kim and Landon Johnson is
back in also.
Handoff to Miles. Miles runs out of bounds, hit late, but gets down to the 6 or 5 yard line. It's going to bring up 2nd and goal from the 6. Ort comes in. Jacob Kim leaves. It looks like Barry Smith is back in. So J.R. Gill, great job, comes in, throws a dart, and we didn't talk about Mason King. Absolutely got nailed after catching that. Mason is a big kid.
He is.
And he's listed, I think he weighs 6 foot 180.
Yeah,
and
5'11", 180, but yeah, I mean, he is.
Landon Johnson, quick pitch to Landon. There's a flag on the play. Hopefully that doesn't come back. Landon Johnson, touchdown, Eastlake. Let's see what the flag is. I didn't see anything extracurricular on Eastlake, but they had a receiver in motion. It's possible there was 2 men in motion. Does not look like the touchdown will stand. They were calling legal procedure on the offense. I suspect somebody was not on the line of scrimmage or we had 2 men in motion. That is unfortunate. Landon Johnson into the end zone, called back. That'll push the Wolves back 5 yards. So it'll bring a 2nd and goal from, should be the 11. Eastlake subs in some receivers, and Ort and Budish out of the game. So indeed, it is 2nd and 11, 2nd and goal from the 11. As we play under the Saturday night lights here. Trips on the near side. Jacob Kim, Landon Johnson, Estes Oliphant. In the backfield is still Miles Johnson, Mason King. On the far side, snap was on 2. Members of both teams kind of moved, but no flags thrown. Miles.
A little scrum around.
I don't know if he got tackled, but his forward progress was stopped at the 10-yard line. And that'll bring up 3rd down. A little bit surprised there was no laundry on the field there, but the refs are letting them play right now. Inside of 2 minutes in the 3rd quarter, Eastlake knocking on the door.
Clock running.
It is 3rd down on the block. The scoreboard says 2nd. I don't believe it's correct. With a score here, Eastlake could cut this to a 15-point lead. 2 touchdown and a 2-point conversion. We got to this score tonight with Williams Field having 1 PAT blocked, and then they did have a safety. Okay, Ort's in the game at tight end with Budish. The heavy formation. Landon Johnson motions. Miles with the ball. It was kind of a fake to Landon Johnson where he scored on the previous play. And Coach Hurd is calling for the field goal team. So Eastlake is going to attempt
field goal?
A field goal from the 14-yard line. If the ball's placed on the 21, that's going to be a 31-yard field goal. The wind is blowing in our face. I don't know that
a little bit, I guess,
favorable. Yeah.
I mean, they're on the far hash, so.
Ben is a lefty. I just realized. I didn't know that. Ben Byman, number 19, the kicker. He's had some great PATs. Good snap, good hold, good kick, and that is pounded through the uprights for an Eastlake score to cut the lead almost in half. It'll be 36 for Williams Field and 17 for Eastlake.
37 seconds left.
Nice drive for the Eastlake Wolves there. Some big conversions, big first downs. We didn't see as many penalties that drive. We saw some great passes. And again, J.R. Gill, I can't say enough. He comes in on 3rd and 12, hasn't played a down in this game, and throws an absolute dart to Mason King. Mason with a huge catch to get it inside the 10-yard line. And then nice defense by Williams Field to keep Eastlake out of the end zone. And Ben Byman with your first varsity field goal.
Yeah, 31 yards.
Congratulations to Ben there.
That was not a gimme. So Byman lining up in the center of the field.
Even formation with 5 on both sides of the ball. Right in front of me is my son, Estes Oliphant, number 2. Like to see him get a tackle. Fielded inside the 10-yard line. The returner bounces it to the top, and he's hit by several Wolves. Thought I saw the ball come out. Must have been something else. Williams Field will take over on the 23-yard line with 29 seconds to go in the third quarter. Eastlake does not have the clock on their side at this point. A turnover would be huge. On the last drive for Williams Field, they marched down the field from around the 20-yard line, and the quarterback, Dominic Barjona, had his first turnover of the night. Ball slipped out of his hands. Jack Devine recovered it, and Eastlake marched from the, I think, 12-yard line all the way down for the field goal. 28, Adam Barrick in the game at middle linebacker for Budish. Run up the middle, 26, first to get there. I think that's, that is, I'm sorry, that's Adam Barrick. Jackson Wheeler is 28, both juniors in the game. A lot of juniors in on defense right now. If we just go around the horn, Steiner, Barrick, Bratlin, Ort, Devine.
Looks like Williams Field took a timeout.
And Wheeler. So about half the defense is juniors. That's great to see for building on the future.
Quarter. I'm sorry. Not a timeout. It is the quarter. Got wrapped up in our discussion. So
well, that takes us to the final 12 minutes of this California game in Orange County, San Juan Hills High School. Beautiful day. Eastlake got off to a slow start in the first half, playing very well here, really from the end of the second quarter on. The Eastlake Wolves have played good, but the second quarter, the Williams Field offense put Eastlake on their heels, also had a blocked punt, and had a 36-0 lead. So Eastlake has scored 17 unanswered points.
Really kind of lit that fire with that return by Landon Johnson in the third quarter. Dave. Oh. I think they're gone.
Looking for something.
My partner looking for something to wet his whistle.
All right, here's the Eastlake defense flipping sides. Williams Field going left to right. 2 backs in the backfield with the wing back. We haven't seen this formation as much. I suspect it's a run formation. Barrett Bratlin, 27, down in the box like a linebacker. And big run for Williams Field. Wrapped up. Jacob Kim goes down on the 40. Looked like a cramp.
Romeo Jones. Injury timeout. 11:51 remaining in the fourth quarter.
And it looks like that's what that is. Usually don't talk about injuries, but it looks like Jacob, who's played both sides of the ball for a large portion of tonight, we have our first calf cramp of the evening. Going back to my football career, I always remember the first couple of games, especially in the warm weather. There's usually some amount of calf cramps. The temperature's cooled off quite a bit here tonight, so we haven't had as much of that, but some of these guys have been going hard both sides of the ball, especially these defensive backs that are running routes.
And that is our Eastlake trainer who is with us from Southern California. Her name is Christian Oliphant. No relationship to David Oliphant.
No, and I'm going to go meet her. And what's funny is we gave her an Eastlake shirt. She's wearing Estes Oliphant's shirt right now.
How fitting.
Estes doesn't know that, but We did bring some Eastlake colors for our guest trainer here. Reflecting on this game, it's kind of what we expected. We knew Williams Field was big up front, especially on the O-line. They've ran the ball well. Their quarterback's thrown the ball well for the most part. Their receiving core is excellent. They've had some great catches. Defensively, they've played good. They have not been as disciplined as you would think. They had a lot of penalties tonight on both sides of the ball, but I think 6 offsides or 7 offsides penalties, encroachment. But their defense has been strong tonight, but the Eastlake offense has been productive, and these last couple drives, it's been really positive to see. Two running backs in the backfield plus that wing back. Heavy run formation, and that is, I believe, 26, Corshawn Hill, the San Jose State commit you mentioned, with another big run. He's listed at 215, and I would believe it. He looks tough to bring down.
Yeah. Fast.
Looks like Paterno subs out, and got Waldron, Volpone, and Devine all in the game with Ort on the defensive line. Adam Barrick, and Wheeler at the inside linebacker positions. Steiner, the outside linebacker out wide. End around play. 27, Bratlin in pursuit. Pushes the ball carrier out at the 28-yard line. It'll bring up second and 2. That play is not an example where Eastlake's been overpowered. That was a good misdirection play, and Eastlake was there, but after too many yards gained. A quick throw on the flats to number 9, Landon Johnson, with a hard tackle, throws him out of bounds. That's number 9 again, Trey Smith. He's had a handful of catches tonight.
First down, Williamsville.
Nice to see Landon with a little aggression there. Landon, a finesse lacrosse player, incredibly fast, quick on his feet, but not necessarily known for big hits. But in that last play, despite the first down, a very physical tackle on the near side of the field.
As a offensive lacrosse player, he takes a lot of hits. For those listening, the concessions at the Eastlake field will be open this week for the JV game, and then back again open on Friday and Saturday.
Timeout, Williams Field. Looked like Eastlake moved. Williams Field was pointing for a penalty, but the timeout had already been called. I'm getting a phone call right here from my son Cameron. Should we take it real time on air? Cameron, I'm on the live broadcast right now, and I don't know if the camera can catch me, but Cameron, I heard you guys won. Did you win? I'm on, Cameron, you're on the live stream right now with Sean Crandall. Are you watching the game? How many touchdowns did you have today? You had 3 touchdowns? Awesome, buddy. All right, I gotta call you later. Well, let me. What? Okay, I'll call you after the game. I love you. That is an excited 6th grader there. Wanted to share that he had 3 touchdowns today. That's a good day. Williams Field, handoff to Corshawn Hill. The fire alarm goes off again. There's a flag in the backfield. He gets to the end zone for a touchdown and pushes an Eastlake defender in the back late, but that will come back. Looks like Finn Hanna comes in the game for Barrett Bratlin. This is the second time we've had the fire alarm go off. It was reset last time. Not clear what's causing it, but there does not appear to be any imminent danger around us. Kind of neat. I don't know if the cameras have caught it tonight. Over to the right, there's a, I don't know if it's a patch of turf or a box, but the San Juan Hills logo is lit up on the hillside. I'm sure if you're flying over or at a distance in town, you could see that. When we pulled in here, I noticed a lot of pride in this high school. We're not playing against them right now, but there's a lot of flags all over the place. This is a really nice stadium. Pass in the flats to Corson Hill. Good tackle in the flats. I think that was Steiner. Was getting blocked in the flats. It was either Steiner or Kim, and did a good job defeating the block. Gaining, big gain for Williams Field, but because of the penalty, it brings up 2nd and 9 at the 21-yard line. Clock is rolling, 9:15 to go in the game, with Williams Field up 19 points. Two backs in the backfield, wing back on the near side. This has been a run formation. It is a run up the middle to Corson Hill and a big gain. He's wrapped up by 22 Finn Hanna on the 10-yard line, but that is a run of about 10 yard lines for Hill.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am in contact with school administration. If we need to evacuate, I will let you know. Right now, they are resetting the alarm. We're all secure.
Sounds like a false alarm. We hope that's the case. The wind has picked up. Jeremy, I don't know if this is the normal Santa Ana wind. Reverse counter play, number 3, looked to be tackled in the backfield. Still on his feet.
Driving.
It was 1st and goal. He gets down to about the 6. That'll bring up 2nd and goal from the 6-yard line for Williams Field. That was number 3, Booker, John Booker.
Yeah, and I had from my research, a different Booker who was on last week, so tough to know. But
that might be a nickname, we don't know, but
yeah.
Good run by Booker. He looked to be tackled in the backfield for a loss by one of the Wolves and was able to evade that and pick up a couple. 2nd and goal. Last time Williams Field had 2nd and goal or 3rd and goal, we were able to get a turnover. So let's see what happens here. Quick snap, run to Hill. He cuts it back, hit high by several Eastlake defenders.
Great stop.
I think 28 Wheeler got there first, kind of bounced off, and then Miles Johnson and others finished him off. So Hill comes over to the sideline and asks for a substitution. First time I've seen that. He was making a claim that his teammate wasn't running the right play, and he called a substitution. So we've got a new Williams Field Blackhawk in the game down here at receiver. Looks like Hill's at the wingback position. Look for a counter to the far side to Hill. He goes in motion, arc motion. It is a handoff to Hill. He's hit by several, leans forward. Looked like he was just shy. He is. He's going to be brought down on the 1-yard line for Eastlake. This is a goal line stand. Eastlake subs in a few folks. They subbed in 3, and I only see 2 leaving the field. Somebody else has got to go. That's Jacob Kim. So Eastlake's brought in their horsepower. Williams Field's under center. We got to get ready. Quick snap. Hand off to Hill deep, and he's knocked down. I don't see the hand up. There they are. Great defense by Eastlake. It was 4th and 1, and he only got 1, but that's all he needed. First touchdown of the second half for Williams Field inside of 6 minutes. So Eastlake was able to keep them scoreless for a quarter and a half, but the first half was too much. See some other folks subbing in. Caden Eaton, 33, the senior in the game. See if we can get another block kick. Bratland had one right here in the first quarter. Good snap, good hold, good kick. And that takes us to 43-17, stretches it back out to a 26-point game.
Well, let's see what the Wolves have up their sleeve here as they come to receive this kick and bring the offense back out on the field.
Regardless of the outcome, we'd just like to see some production as we lead into in-state play next week. Excited for the Saturday night game against Gig Harbor.
Just looking for a score of the Gig Harbor Peninsula game. I couldn't find it earlier. If anybody knows, shoot us a text.
Getting some texts from out-of-state folks. Bobby Jones from Texas. Bobby, good to hear from you. I hope you're well. Miles' grandfather there. Williamsfield kicks off, fielded by Hanska on the 4. He bobbles it, fields it back, and still on his feet. Hit hard on about the 17-yard line, and that'll be Eastlake ball in the near hash with 5:50 to go in the game.
Eastlake will take over the 15-yard line. 5 minutes, 50 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter.
Hanska's fielded the ball really well tonight. He's also had a couple good catches. That kick just looked a little deeper than he was ready for. I do think the wind's blowing left to right just a little bit, and he bobbled it just a little bit.
Carried it a little further than anticipated.
But still did a good job getting his composure and getting the ball just about back to the 20. All right, we got the same receiving core: Mason King, Jacob Kim on the near side, Estes Oliphant, and Chase Hanska on the far side. Barry Smith rolls out. Oliphant in the flats. It's
A little bit
just
over.
out of his reach. And that'll bring up second down. I think that's the second pass attempted for Estes tonight. The first one was at the goal line, and Williamsfield made a nice play, stopping the touchdown. Barry Smith's played good tonight.
Yeah.
He's used his legs. He's ran more keepers than I expected, and I give Williamsfield credit there. Defensive ends and outside linebackers have stayed at home. Trips on the far side, Mason King on the near side. Miles Johnson motions out, throws over the head of Oliphant. The moon is coming up over the hill. I don't know if we can get a shot of it here, but it is a full moon. Maybe there'll be some
Wolves howling.
wolves howling and some newborns on, if they don't come on September 6th, maybe the 7th, but the moon is coming up. That'd be a great time for a wolf to howl right here. All right, 7 checks in the game. That's Ethan Rogers on the near side. Barry Smith fakes it to the near side. Hanska up the middle, and he's got a nice first down and more, carrying a defender all the way to the 40-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 20-plus on third down. Great play call, great throw by Ryder, great time. The offensive line absolutely did their job there. And then Hanska with a great catch in traffic. And for a second, I thought he was going to break it.
I did too.
It would have been a good time with the moon to hear some howling. Yeah. It is a beautiful moon tonight, just over the hill. Trips on the near side, play action, quick throw to Jacob Kim, who's got it in space. Not able to elude the Williamsfield defender, but not before he picks up about 4 yards on first down. Clock is ticking inside of 5 minutes. Eastlake
marching.
Still huddling up, though. Twins at the top end on the near side here. Mason King goes in motion. Barry Smith looking for a quick curl route, and he just throws it out of the reach of Ethan Rogers. Pretty good coverage by Williams Field on the play. Ryder would have had to throw a dot.
Third down and 6.
I would call that a good miss. If you're going to miss on that play, missing a little bit wide to keep it out of play.
8 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter.
Clock stopped. 3rd and 6 for Eastlake, looking to get across midfield. If you joined late, Williams Field came out to a 36-0 lead. Eastlake scored 17 unanswered points, and then Williams Field just had a nice drive and punched it in on 4th and 1, and now Eastlake took over inside the 20 and is driving. On 2, Williams Field discipline. Ryder takes a shot, and that's going to be intercepted.
Second of the night.
Second of the night. That's basically a punt. He gave his receiver a chance to make a ball. Hanska was well guarded, and nice interception by Williams Field. Barry Smith was hit on the play.
Interception number 27, Blake Strauss.
In the first quarter, you wouldn't want to see that throw, but late in the game, sometimes you got to give your athletes a chance to go make a play, and that one was not the outcome we wanted, but effectively a punt with a gain of 35 yards on the play or so, and Williams Field will take over with exactly 4 minutes on the clock in the fourth quarter. Looks like they've got a new quarterback in the game, number 12. That is Caden Schooley.
I believe Caden's a senior.
Single back, wing back on the near side. Low snap, quick throw to the flats. Jack Steiner's there and brings him down for a gain of 0. Great defense by Jack Steiner. We've called Jack's name a lot tonight. He's the punter and also starting outside linebacker, and he also played running back and carried the ball for a play.
One of those versatile guys.
Miles Johnson back at free safety. Quick handoff inside, looking to bounce it. Looked like that was still Hill. He's still on his feet. And that'll bring up 3rd and 5. That'll take us down to 3 minutes here. It'd be great to get one more possession, but if Williams Field gets another first down, they'll likely run the clock out here.
Coach Hurd still does have 3 timeouts.
Got a spread formation, twins on both sides. Quarterback in the shotgun. Motion handoff to the slot, and he will pick up enough for the first down. Gets out to the 28-plus yard line. The officials will signal the chains to move, and that will be first down at the 29 with 2 minutes in the game. Williams Field can just take a knee if they want. Looks like they are subbing in some new players.
Well, not the outcome that we wanted tonight, but I think a lot of really good lessons learned by the Wolves. They played well for their first game.
Absolutely. And we mentioned, nice defensive play there. 28, Jackson Wheeler shoots the gap and makes contact in the backfield. Tailback pulled him for a yard or so, but great defense there. Gain of only 1 on first down. Jackson Wheeler with the tackle. Yeah, and Jeremy, I would say, we had a lot of guys not play tonight for various reasons that I think are planning on another great defensive play by Eastlake here. We'll see if Coach Hurd uses a timeout. Takes us down inside of a minute. It's going to be 3rd and long. It's possible that Coach Hurd is conceding at this point and get the team back healthy. And it looks like Williams Field will line up in victory formation of sorts and take a knee, and that will end the game. So we thank you for joining us tonight. It was super exciting to be here.
Yeah.
And I'm super thankful for the film crew. Jeremy, your first time on the microphone.
That's
Good
right.
job.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, thanks to Andrew and Sean for producing tonight and running the cameras. They did a great job. Sean making the trip down here with all of his gear and getting it set up and working through all the bugs of finding the outlets and Wi-Fi and everything he needs to make this happen. So thank you, guys.
Jeremy, I don't want to jinx us, but I believe, at the end of the game, we had most of our starters still in. So I think we came out of this healthy, which is always a concern early in the season when you're playing a team that's got bigger size than you have. But as the team shake hands here, I'm happy that we're going to go home on the airplane safely tomorrow. Hopefully everybody gets back safe and healthy, and Eastlake will get back to work on Monday preparing for Gig Harbor, who's traditionally been a strong football program. I think they've had a little turnover there the last year or so, but we expect they're going to bring their best effort.
For sure.
And we will see you
next Saturday night.
So if you're here and you're watching this from the hotel tonight, please travel home safely. Enjoy Southern California. Again, a shout out to the WFA and all the sponsors that made this happen. And we hope to see you next Saturday. Thanks for joining us.
Have a good night.